The Brown County, Wisconsin District Attorney formally charged Green Bay Packers running back Josh Jacobs with misdemeanor battery and misdemeanor criminal damage to property. Back in May, Jacobs was originally booked on domestic abuse and felony strangulation charges, which he now no longer faces. The Seattle Seahawks and defensive tackle Leonard Williams have agreed to a 3-year, $90 million extension, $56 million guaranteed. Tutu Atwell returning to the Los Angeles Rams after they acquired him for running back Jarquez Hunter. Atwell played in L.A. for the last 5 years before signing a 1-year deal in Miami in March. Wide receiver Alec Pierce has been removed for the physically unable to perform list for the Colts. Titans head coach Robert Saleh said Wan'Dale Robinson left today's joint practice with the Chicago Bears to be evaluated for a concussion. Called the hit that Robinson took from Bears safety Xavier Woods cheap. I'm Martin Weiss.
Elijah, put the camera on me.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Password.
Ack, a dack, dack, a ack.
Enter, brother.
I blame you. He's right here, too. You know what it is, Rob G?
Rob Parker.
He says, I'm the black him and he's the white me.
It's true. I can see that.
It's true. And actually, that's not
Kelvin
crazy. Like,
Washington.
that's not far-fetched. Tell Covino next time, why is his chair 7'12"?
Oh,
My gosh.
because Covino's 5'8", but he tells people he's 5'11".
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
The show's over. Get out of here.
tell him to be more like Rob G. Rob G at least admits it. It is The Odd Couple on a TV theme song Thursday. You heard his name is Kelvin Washington, Rob G, and for Rob P, who has been enjoying a little vacay. I said it yesterday, Rob G. He still makes sure he had time to get at Shedeur, though.
He did.
He did.
He called me today. He's like, that Shedeur news. Oh God.
Wait, it was but you had to do the pot.
Yeah, but he's like, it was so
Okay.
good for me. I'm like, what do you mean it's so good for you? Because I knew he wasn't going to start, and so when I said it, it's perfect.
Why does he say? But even though last year I told him, remember you obviously the producer of the show, we made a bet that he wouldn't start, and he started like 7 games. I told him he was going to start. I said absolutely. I feel the same way this year. We'll get to it later, but like, okay, we'll see week 1. He's going to absolutely start. But Rob G's in for Rob P on this TV theme song Thursday. 877-99 on Fox is the number. Despite Rob G's not producing and producing / hosting, we will take a couple calls. Dang it!
Oh, damn it!
I told you, got to meet me in the middle. Okay, Rob Parker is crazy over that side, and then you're over here with it. Like, so meet me in the middle with that, man. Right. We got a lot to get to on this TV thing. So on Thursday, we got Eric Williams next hour, Fox Sports NFL reporter, going to join us. Looking forward to that. And you know how we do on Thursdays. File Affair with J.R. Gamble. Looking forward to that. MLBBro.com managing editor as well. We've got Shop Talk. We'll see what Rob G cooked up for us today. So a lot to get to. By the way, YouTube. We're on YouTube. Looking good. Check us out as usual. Odd Couple FSR. Search us there, and you will find us there. And you can like, subscribe, share, comment away, all that good stuff. So please check out YouTube as well. All right, let's welcome in the Odd Couple crew because we can't do the show without him. He is Rob G producing. Yeah, give it up for him. Bud Mexican.
Yeah.
He's also co-hosting. So how are you today?
I'm doing all right. Better? I feel okay. I sound terrible, and you know that having.
But I
kids.
like it though.
Why?
Got a little to you.
No, I ain't from the streets. You know that.
Got a little, sometimes you got to let them know. The delay above Mexican was crazy.
Yeah, that's a little racist.
You know what? That is the one thing that isn't labeled clearly on here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
don't worry about
bad job by me.
No, Chris, let the spirit lead you. I like it though, a little raspy. You know what I'm saying? How you doing?
How are you doing? I like that Shoe Pug shirt.
Thank you. Shout out to Shoe Pug.
Preston?
Yeah, shout out to Preston, man. He where he been? He usually pops up.
Yeah, he usually just kind of shows up with a bag full of socks. And he's like, hey,
I didn't wear it. I usually have them on too. SB Prez, man. What up? So everything's good with me. When week to wind down, as you know, weeks are always busy. Weeks are crazy. And you know how it goes too. When we're busy, you doing quadruple duty and all that.
Yep.
More on the wife. You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Mark know about that life now. Yeah, he going to learn more, too. Still early in the game, Martin. Martin Weiss on updates for us as well. We got Chris, USC Chris. Hit your music. In the building as well. And on
I was trying to find something
media,
for Martin there. He's pulling out the guitar.
Well, we
so
usually have one. It's the Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
Oh, Smoke on the Water?
Yeah. I don't know if it's in there or not. I don't know.
Martin played guitar for 6 weeks. All of a sudden, he's the guitar guy.
First of all, over a year.
Okay, Martin, I did need you to
I've
lie
worked
a
with
little
him
bit.
for
It should be
that
like,
long over
first
the
of all,
weekend,
over
and he's
3 years.
always got the guitar in there.
But hey, that's how you got to learn, though.
This is the only soundproof room I have access to regularly in Los Angeles.
Wait,
Think
why
about
it.
it.
Soundproof, though. Tell your neighbor, shut up.
Yeah.
I don't think he's worried about the
Do you know who
neighbors.
I am?
Oh, my neighbors are the loudest they could possibly be. Trust me, it's a party every Friday and Saturday. There's no chance that I could even come close to competing with them.
All right. Every block has that neighbor. I ain't going to say his name just in case he ever happened to listen, but I have a neighbor, and he owns the home, so there's been a bunch of people who come in and out. But when the bulk of the stay for years, the block was always hot. I mean, parties, and they're going strong. And then also maybe some disputes and whatnot.
Now, are you one of the people who has an issue with people who park in front of your house for parties?
Ooh, remember we did that on the
I hate it so much.
Yeah, that's like the number one pet peeve.
Yeah.
I'd rather you throw a party. I'd rather
Just
you
leave my space.
that near
unencumbered.
litter. I'd rather you can name a million other things. Park. You know what it is? And you guys know this. It's less me, more my wife. Like for me, I can go, oh, that's that bull, but it's just 1 minute. It's an hour.
Right.
It's her. That's like her. Man, she's not a easily upsettable woman.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Like if she might knock on your door, that would be what it's for. It could be you could do a million other things. You could be smoking. You could be doing this. That would be the thing. See that spot?
Yeah.
Between the mailboxes. Don't do that. Don't do that. Martin, give Martin for us.
If you're parked in my spot, I'm on the phone with 311, and I'm sitting there until
That's right.
I'm making a TikTok
right.
like Karen Bass.
Yeah.
Come get it. Come get it.
You know what's funny? You just reminded me, Martin, and we'll get this show started. Anybody listening in the New York area, I need you to call in or message in or YouTube in if this was real or not. So in Atlanta, Martin, I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you were in the streets a little bit in Atlanta, but they boot up like crazy. Like the boot man is a real big thing in Atlanta. Of all places, you kind of think it was more of a New York, Philly, tri-state area thing. But Atlanta is notorious for this. Like he literally sitting there looking, hey, you got how much? 45 minutes? I'm booting after that. New York now has like a boot windshield. So I got to see if it's true. So if you're in New York, they put like a big yellow, almost like an old school telephone book over your windshield. The point is so you can't drive because apparently people were driving with the boot on still. So now they put this thing on to like block your windshield. And they have to like,
yeah. Wow.
Secret, see?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Just like
That
it
just
looks like
seems
a
extra.
giant book on
It's
top
like
of
a
it.
big, huge, takes up 2/3 of your windshield.
You can't see nothing.
And
out
so
of
that you have to call them to pop that thing off. So I'm like, they're getting crazy out here with that, man. All right, with that being said, look it up. Yeah, if anybody in New York went through that, I want to hear about it. All right, so let's get to this. Rob G, we've been talking about Shedeur and Deshaun Washington as our caller.
Ad
a couple
nauseum,
days.
yeah.
That was hilarious to me. But
When you said it to Mike and he was confused, he's like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, you weren't here. My bad, Mike. You weren't here. But Deshaun Watson obviously getting his start. And I think what I will say, I think what compounded it, Rob G, is it wasn't just Monken saying, hey, we're starting Deshaun.
right.
It's multitude of things. And I'm going to let you kick it off here, but I think it was Monken didn't sound convinced himself.
No.
That made it like, now it's already a close race, and I'm not saying either one of these selections are great,
Right.
but to come out and kind of sound like the gun was behind your back before reports would come out, RG3 and sources that he was forced to. So you have that already kind of feeling weird. Like he didn't seem
Little
enthused.
hostage video.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Blink twice if you really want to start Shedeur. And then also the idea that the preseason game in and of itself, Deshaun didn't look great.
Look horrible.
And then how he responded to the boo birds. So it was a bad ordeal. Then you get RG3 putting out there that he has sources that said it was the ownership that wanted to do it. And so that's why it continues to almost become a thing, back and forth, back and forth. But now you have a story where some anonymous execs who are saying essentially, hey, I don't think Shedeur is a starter. I don't see any way he's going to be a real NFL quarterback. Then they're even jumping out and saying he ain't even worth being a backup because of all the hoopla that would come with it.
Right.
With him as a backup. You all right with that? You with these anonymous execs?
I'll tell you what. Full disclosure, I think that Shedeur Sanders should have been the starter in Cleveland because you went through all the stats the last few days ad nauseum, right? Deshaun Watson was statistically one of, if not the single worst quarterback in football when he was playing there in Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders, on the flip side, again, one of the worst quarterbacks in football last. So neither one of them really showed out in a big way. Anytime that it's close, I'm always going to lean to the young guy because potentially he might show something. Potentially he might grow into something. We don't know. That's number one. Number two, the cheat code in today's NFL, you know this, is the quarterback on a rookie deal.
100%.
So if Shedeur Sanders ends up being a middle-of-the-road, solid NFL starting quarterback, I can then spend a lot of money on my receivers, running backs, defense, everything around him so that suddenly we have the Houston Texans, right, where C.J. Stroud is okay. He's not great, but the rest of the team is really
We
loaded.
can compete.
Exactly. So you could definitely do that. And so the fact that they went with Deshaun Watson obviously raises some eyebrows. I tend to agree with RG3 that this was not a decision made by Todd Monken. I think you saw by his body language, things he was saying, that he wasn't as excited about Deshaun as he was about Shedeur.
Right.
Just watching him throughout training camp. When he talks about Deshaun, it's one word. It's like, yeah, he had a good camp. He looked good. No, yeah, he did a lot of good things out there. He's getting the plays in there. And then Shedeur, he has a little bit of excitement about it.
So
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
He's gotten so much
His
better.
development. You see the way that he's night and day from where he was when I first got here, kind of a thing, right? But if he's not going to be your QB1, and if for whatever reason, whether it's because of the ownership or maybe Todd Monken really does think Deshaun's the better guy, if Shedeur is not your QB1, then I agree with the execs. He can't be on your roster. Because Shedeur Sanders, and this is not his fault, but his following is very mega. Now, obviously, the Shedeur following and the mega following is probably not the same people, but it's just like with President Trump, Caitlin Clark, if you go back in the day, Tim Tebow, there are people and his fan base that no matter what he does, no matter what he says, if he goes 15 for 15 or 1 for 12 and 3 picks, why are you not playing this guy? He's obviously better than him. Why are you not giving Shedeur a shot? Look at Deshaun Watson. He went 3 out 3 different times. He threw a bad interception in the red zone. Get Shedeur in there. I cannot have my backup quarterback be more popular than the starter. So unless he's the backup to Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson, if he's not my starter, I don't want him on my team.
I cannot argue with the idea of he has a following, right? There's no debate. But he had a following. He's in high school, just from the shows. His dad had a show and all that. He's a star in that. They didn't get into college. And then to his credit and his brother's credit, I think it's Deion Sanders Jr., actually. He's the one who runs all their
he's
social.
the video guy.
He's the video guy, the social media guru. Shout out to Elijah. I think they've been understanding this type of thing for years. Like, we're going to be big either way.
Right.
Hopefully football. That's our heart. That's our thing. But we're going to be popular, be big regardless. It's just, and if you see them and their dad, you know that's just the way it is. They have a whole aura about them, the whole family, and it is what it is. So I totally can understand that. But here's a couple of things. I feel like you've mentioned one. You mentioned Tebow. Until we just realized he couldn't play, he was still getting chances. Until we finally had to just keep it real. Like, all right, he's not that good. Whereas I think Shedeur is already better than him, but also could potentially, as you even acknowledge, you don't know. He could be really better than him. Also, Mike Vick, that man was coming out of prison. For something Americans take very seriously, especially certain segments, he was fighting and killing dogs.
Yeah, I think he even had to admit it as part of the plea deal that he was part of the physical act of putting down dogs. Yes.
So Shedeur just kind of being fun on social media would seem like, I think, we're overblowing. Like, yes, he has a following of fans. I'll give you the NBA version of him. It's LaMelo Ball.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
LaMelo Ball has been famous, and I lived in Chino. When I first moved to California, coming up almost to the exact date, 15 years ago, I lived in Chino Hills. Was literally across the freeway from Chino Hills High. One of my neighbors let's go play ball. I'll be hooping with the neighborhood, and they say, "Oh man, K-Dub, man, you got to come, Coach K, you got to come watch this kid play." And it was Lonzo, and he was a freshman on varsity. And I was like, "Oh, he's good," but I don't see who knew he would be in the NBA and have a career in the NBA. Point is, next thing you know, you start seeing all these local news segments on this curly blonde, crazy haired kid, his brother. And he was like 11. He's been famous since he was 11.
Right.
So I say that to say, I don't think LaMelo's fans are like bad fans. They're just rabid, and they've been following his journey, and they love him.
Sure.
So now that he's a Timberwolf, he could be a Spur, he could be in China. They're following him. And Shedeur Sanders, I think, has that. So I think we overstate the fans. You don't want that in the background, because I don't think it's like a mad, crazy, wild. I think they're just supportive of him and all that he does. And also, I look at other people like Ben Roethlisberger has some drama.
Oh, yeah.
You know who else had drama? Sitting in Cleveland? Deshaun Watson had all the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Mad accusers. Dozens of accusers. That's crazy. So my point is, I think we can deal with it. I think we can deal with a little bit of a fan base who wants to see their guy play every now and again. We got anonymous backup quarterbacks who have huge fan bases only because we hate the starter.
That's big facts.
Put him in. We don't even know who he is.
Bet you he's better than what we got out there.
Put Nathan Peterman in. Hold on, y'all. Y'all really desperate out here.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's my favorite quarterback in football.
Fitzmagic.
That's right.
So that happens all the time. So I think it's a bit overstated. But I definitely concede that if he's backing up Sam Darnold with the Jets, you get what I mean, that era, then yeah, he's going to be a rock star and they're going to be calling for him.
So I think that what you're saying makes a lot of sense. What I think Shedeur is different than a guy like LaMelo Ball is, his fan base is not just the guy in Colorado, the guy in Cleveland, the guy in Miami, whatever. His fan base is also former NFL players, talking heads on television. So he's going to get a lot more airtime being talked about whether he was good or not. Like, I was listening to a podcast on the way in. Ryan Fitzpatrick, interestingly enough, him and Andrew Whitworth have a podcast, actually pretty good. And they break down football in a very intellectual way. Not very takey. It's more like, hey, this is what we see. This is what it's probably better to watch than to listen to, I would assume.
Okay.
But Fitzpatrick, when he's talking about the X's and O's of it. Like, hey, if he's not getting this out at this time, this is not going to work. You got to get the receivers' confidence up because they're new to the offense. Like, he's really getting into the quarterbackness of playing the position. Coincidentally, if you listen to like a Shady McCoy podcast, it's like, that dude's trash, and I got people around Cleveland that say Shedeur's the better player, and blah, 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 blah. And so more people are going to hear that than anything that Ryan Fitzpatrick is saying.
Oh, yeah. Wait, come on. That's 2026.
And so when you have a situation where Shedeur is going to have guys on television, on podcasts, on radio, who are supporting him no matter what, it's different than if it's just the people in Chino Hills for the
But then put the guy in front of him who's really good, who shuts everybody up.
They don't have one.
But what I'm saying is right. So I'm saying that's the issue. So then put Shedeur in. If you ain't got one, dang it, what we doing?
That's what they should have done.
I know you're with me, but I'm screaming to Cleveland. Cleveland!
This is for you.
This is for you. This is what you do. Because you're right. But you know what? That's why you named those other guys you named earlier. You know what will shut that up? He's behind Matthew Stafford. Mm-hmm. He's behind Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar. We know good and well.
That was the only time that people stopped talking about Tim Tebow, when he was in New England.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
like, oh, yeah, he's not going to play, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. There's, 5 or 6 guys where, okay, because even Sam Darnold, as much as he's resurrected
and he
his
just
career,
won a Super Bowl.
He's a bad 5-game stretch away, and that's how the league is. Geno Smith had a great resurgence for his career a couple of years, and all of a sudden now he's a laughing stock. Adam Kaplan's higher than him. We had him on yesterday.
I know, I
he's
heard
a little
that.
higher on that. All right.
Just because I was at home doesn't mean I was listening to the show.
I thought you were being Rob Parker.
Mike Hill over, like, man, he's hard to read. I'm like, Mike, you haven't seen me in 7 years.
But I told you that too, Rob G.
That's true. You did say that.
I'm not
apologize,
gonna lie.
Mike.
I'm not gonna lie. I told you. I thought you were like, dang, Rob G don't like me, dang, for years. And by years, I mean probably till like 2 weeks ago. All right, 877-99 on Fox. We'll try to squeeze in a call or two. We'll see how Rob G is feeling. And like I said, we still got a lot left in this show. Next hour, we're going to get to Eric Williams. We got Shop Talk as well. We got Foul or Fair with J.R. Gamble. That's going to be coming in our last hour. So lots to get to on a TV theme on Thursdays. Stick with your boys. It's Fox Sports Radio.
But yeah, Fernando Mendoza had his primetime debut, his second preseason game. He went 8 for 15, 86 yards, an ugly pick six and a sack in one half of work against the Houston Texans. So we'll call it mixed reviews for the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah. I don't know. I know people in Las Vegas really excited, Kelvin, because I'm not.
Well, ask Rob G. That's his team.
I know Tom Brady. That was the guy they chose, and whatnot. And I get it. He won a national championship. He played great, right, last year with Indiana. But I'm not convinced that he's going to be that guy. And people talk about all the time, just because you're the first overall pick, we've seen plenty of guys wash out and not make it and be a bust. I was always skeptical of the NFL with the idea of the Raiders and Mendoza not having any national games. Like Kelvin, to me, that's just since when?
Right.
You don't want to see the number 1 overall pick?
That's a good point.
I'm serious. And people are like, oh, well, they don't think he's going to start, and so they're not putting any games on, and they can flex in. I'm sorry. The idea that he's the first overall pick, and they're not sure. I don't even know. Are they going to start him, or are they going to make him sit and wait? I mean, Rob G, you're the Raiders guy. What are they saying? Because it sounds like it's mixed.
Oh, no, big seat. He's going to have a big seat.
Oh, they're making it seem like there's a competition, but, Kirk Cousins didn't even dress yesterday. So that kind of tells you all you need to know.
I call him Kirk, your cousin, not mine. He is definitely going to be starting. Number one, when you look at this Raiders team, I mean, Rob G, that's your squad. They're so young, Rob. There's one thing to just be bad, and we know in the NFL sometimes bad isn't horrible, right? Sometimes it's just a few plays didn't go your way, and now you're 7-10, or you're 8-something or 6-11 when you really weren't that bad. And the next year you turn around, at least you're a better squad. Then there's sometimes you were just putrid and you got a lot to figure out. And the Raiders are closer to the latter. I mean, they have a lot to figure out. They're very young. They're trying to get some nice pieces. They're hoping that Gentee works out at the running back. They still got Bauer. They got some pieces on offense. They hope that Mendoza eventually will get there. But Rob, this team, they ain't there yet. Tom Brady ain't walking through that door as the quarterback. Now, he might walk through as a minority owner, but he's got a lot of work to do. And if you're able to watch some of the plays, he's made some nice throws, which is why, obviously, that's why he was the number 1 pick. He looked comfortable at some times, got the ball out, got the offense moving. And that throw across the middle, the interception was terrible. And you're going to learn that number 1 thing you hear all the time, the speed is much faster in the pros. That little cross body across the middle of the field pass you normally can do in college, you ain't doing that in the pros. And so he's going to learn that for sure. But I definitely expect a slow roll. If you're Raiders and you say and you wholly believe this is your guy, then there's no rush. You're hoping to have him for a greater decade and a half. And so they're not going to roll him out there.
I'm in a different school. If you can play and make an impact, you should play. The only way you really learn to play in the National Football League is going out there. All the people, the great players, no one's putting them on a leash. No one's telling them we're going to pump the brakes on you. You just go out there and you learn. Peyton Manning was on a bad Indianapolis team. He threw 1 million interceptions, right? Peyton Manning wasn't Peyton Manning year 1. Go back and look. He almost threw 30 interceptions.
He did.
His rookie year. So you can't explain or tell me that the best way is to sit. Now, we got the Aaron Rodgers example, but there's a reason Aaron Rodgers sat. You had a future Hall of Famer there still able to play. That's the only reason Aaron Rodgers didn't play. Not that he couldn't play. Everybody said in practice, this guy's got it. But he had to sit up 3 years behind Brett Favre, a Hall of Famer. Kirk Cousins is no Hall of Famer. Kirk Cousins was lousy in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins gets you nothing. Kirk Cousins gives you wasted snaps. It's wasted snaps.
But
I would rather this kid play, take his lumps, and if they're bad, get another top pick. I don't want to be in the middle of the pack because I have a middling end of his career quarterback who's just going to keep us afloat and win enough games so that we don't get the number 1 pick or top pick again. That's what I'm saying. I want all or nothing.
Fox Sports Radio, it's the Odd Couple. Kelvin, Washington. We got Rob G in for Rob P on this TV things on Thursday. Full confession with this show, The Sopranos. Rob G, full confession. If I believe there's 7 seasons, I'm on like episode, I don't know, 1 or 2 or something in season 6, and I've retired. I started this show. I had 26.
You're already so far in.
I know, but
You're almost there, man.
I know, but this is like 2 years. It's like right around when this. Oh, Rob P is here. Yeah. Hey, Rob Parker.
He talked me ear off today. He's in my head.
Yeah.
Kelvin, we need your opinions. That is an ending that people still
I
are
know,
mad about
and I
today.
feel like I saw the ending 10, 12, 15 years ago. So, but do I need to finish it at this point?
I would assume so.
All right, Martin says 2 thumbs up. All right. So far, so good.
And
Listen,
Martin wears glasses, so you know it's for real.
That is real. I ain't gonna lie. He said he'll be worried about my eyesight. That's what I read. He might not have said that directly, but
I've never seen him wear glasses before.
You know, ever since Rob G started taking the shot, man, I'm telling you, ever since Rob G started taking a shot, he then started taking shots.
How am I taking a shot? I've never seen you wear glasses before.
It's a new thing.
So then why is it me taking a shot and saying, hey, you have glasses on?
Thing.
No, but it's not. Oh, Martin. Those are nice glasses you got on there.
They are nice.
No.
The tone in which he approached
the tone.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, that's cute.
Don't act like you don't know the tone.
Exactly.
That's what I get told all the time.
I already know it's not what you
said it.
But then when she said how she wants to say it, you got to just take it.
Uh-huh.
Boy, guys, get married, though. It is amazing.
It's
make sure I clarify that for somebody clip it up and then see this one. All right, man. Real quick, also, professional truck and bus drivers train for thousands of miles, but even the best drivers need more space to maneuver their long vehicle around a tight corner. So hang back, give them extra room to turn safely, stay clear, stay safe. America's pros rely on you. Paid for by FMCSA. Execs are saying they don't see a future for Shedeur as a starter. Some said they wouldn't even take him as a backup because of all the fanfare. Rob G says he understands. I say, nah, stop overstating that. Let's take a call. Who we got?
You call me corporate. We got Drew in New Jersey. Drew, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Drew?
Hey, guys. The way I look at it is when I looked at him in college, he just reminded me of Josh Rosen, but with lower pocket presence because of the number of sacks. So I don't think that it's worth the publicity if you're getting Josh Rosen production. I don't see any upside physically. He's average athlete, average size, average arm, average everything. The only thing he has that is of note that stands out is his father. Right now, it's too much of a headache. Quite frankly, I think the other guy, who was the guy that was drafted ahead of him, I think he pretty much outplayed him the entire year. Dylan Gabriel outplayed him throughout the series. However, I think clearly because of the name, I think that if Dylan Gabriel's name was Dylan Sanders, I think that he would have kept that starting job that entire year.
I give you I'm more inclined to, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you for the call. We'll have to wait and see what happens, obviously. But let's not act like Dylan Gabriel's lighting it up. The fact that he's not even he's had more than enough. It's the same way people say, like there's anonymous execs. If Shedeur was really that guy, he should have took the spot easily from Deshaun. Well, Dylan Gabriel can hop on up in here, by the way, and outshine all of them. And because, by the way, when I have these conversations with you, Rob G and Rob Parker and whoever else is sitting there, it's not as if you know this. I'm fully aware Shedeur hasn't lit it up. My point was let's see if he can
lit it up.
Let's fully exhaust it with the new coach, and then we can move on if he's not it. My point, same thing would apply to Dylan Gabriel. When you get a shot, whether it's in practice, with the training camps, if it's in the preseason, light it up.
Yep.
Make us, because Shedeur it ain't like he's got some amazing resume where you have to play him. Deshaun has been bad for some time. We haven't seen a good version of him since like 2021 or something. So my point is, Dylan Gabriel can hop right up on in this thing and take over the spot if possible. So he can be in here as well.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Gabriel, to be fair to Drew, 1 in 5, 7 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's his calling card.
Yeah.
Like, he was really good but passer rating of 80, QBR of 31. So none of the quarterbacks were good.
Well, we know they don't really have a quarterback in there. All right. You remember the movie Dumb and Dumber?
I do. I love that movie.
Your favorite team, the Giants, might have a
One of my
situation
Giants.
with that at time. We'll talk about that right now. With his new frames, we're checking in with Martin Weiss to get you updated.
The Brown County, Wisconsin District Attorney formally charged Green Bay Packers running back Josh Jacobs with misdemeanor battery and misdemeanor criminal damage to property. Back in May, Jacobs was originally also booked on domestic abuse and felony strangulation charges. He now no longer faces those. With 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first quarter, the Steelers lead the Buffalo Bills 7-3. Wide receiver Jeremy Bernard getting into the end zone for Pittsburgh. Ben Skoranek left this game. He's going to be evaluated for a concussion. Seattle Seahawks defensive tackle Leonard Williams agreed to a 3-year, $90 million extension, $56 million guaranteed. Tutu Atwell on his way back to Los Angeles. They acquired him from the Dolphins for running back Jarquez Hunter. Atwell played the last 5 seasons for the Rams before signing a 1-year deal with the Dolphins. Colts lifted Alex Pierce off the physically unable to perform list. Titans head coach Robert Saleh said wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson left today's joint practice with the Bears to be evaluated for a concussion. He called the hit that Robinson took from Bears safety Xavier Woods, quote, cheap. The ACC becomes the latest conference to officially ban professional players from returning to college football. Also applies to men and women's basketball. In Major League Baseball, Dodgers trailing the Braves 1-0 home run in the top of the first inning to give them the deficit there, or to give the Braves the lead. Brewers with a 2-0 lead over the Mets in the top of the second. Bottom of the first inning, the Royals with a 2-0 lead over the Blue Jays, and in the top of the second inning, Astros and Yankees are scoreless. Fellas, back to you.
All right, appreciate
Thank you, Martin. You're the best.
You are the best.
You know what, PED, Rob G? I appreciate that.
Hope you freeze your balls off in Chicago.
Oh, my gosh. You guys are crazy. It is the Odd Couple. Kelvin Washington, Rob G is in for Rob P on a TV theme song Thursday. As I mentioned, still got a lot left in the show next hour as well. Shop Talk, Eric Williams jumping up. Then we got Fowler Fair with J.R. Gamble in the following hour, so lots to get to. All right, Rob G, I just kind of teased it a little bit there when I said Dumb and Dumber, which, by the way, where's that rank? Jim Carrey movies. Like, where's that for you?
Ooh. It's not top 3. It's top 3, and it's not 3.
Okay. Ooh, so
it might be 1.
Ooh.
It might be.
Over Truman Show. Wow.
Dumb and Dumber?
I might have to go, believe it or not, and it's super like, oh, heartwarming, fuzzy, family. Liar, Liar might be my one.
Oh, shout out to Coop.
I love Liar,
Actually,
Liar.
yeah. I'm a team player. Coop works here.
Coop, yeah.
So
Coop
we got
gets
to
a
get
no
Liar,
Shout out
Liar
to
number
Coop.
1.
Shout out to you know I still haven't met him. Y'all just tell me.
Oh,
I don't know.
his autograph is right there hanging up in Vito's office.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But Liar, Liar might be for me.
Martin?
Jim Carrey. He's got $1 million. Bruce
He does
Almighty,
got a
by
lot.
the way, Bruce Almighty is up there, but I think we're sleeping on another one. I'll tell you after Stephen Martin says it.
Honestly, not the biggest Jim Carrey fan, but the one that pops into my brain the first is the Batman, where he was the Riddler.
Batman
you're not-
Forever?
Batman Forever.
Yeah,
is
you're,
the
not
first.
you're not the biggest Jim Carrey fan.
That's
When
the
if that was
first Jim Carrey that pops in my head.
'cause
Honestly.
you could have started with Ace Ventura. We'd have been like, yeah, okay, yeah.
No. I never really see. Growing up, couldn't really watch him.
Too
By the
wild, too crazy?
Yeah, my parents were like, no, you could watch football or the History Channel.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey wasn't on that list.
I have conversations all the time, even at the TV station. Parents, we really be putting some PTSD on kids, like what they couldn't do, couldn't go, couldn't. Because we had some moments yesterday where some people were venting TV. I was like, they having some. Yeah, there's some moments that happen.
I mean, I'm okay.
You
Yeah, I survived.
You are all
Yeah.
right. I know, but do the same thing with my daughters. They're gonna be like, so this is a party? Wow. Like, my dad never let me go. How old are you now? 35? Oh, your first party? Like, my bad. I'm sorry, baby.
So excited to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm trying not to be that. But anyway, I say that to say, Dumb and Dumber, there's a team in particular and a couple of their star players. Just, I'm not calling them dumb.
Yes, you are.
But dang it, they do some things
They
that I
do
just
some
don't
things.
get.
Yes, I think you're talking about my New York Giants.
Your New York
and that's because New York Daily News sports reporter Pat Leonard put this out on Twitter yesterday during their practice that Cam Scatterbo started a fight when he slid down after a catch, became dangerously close to taking out a couple of Giants DB's legs. The key thing is that in this particular practice, the defense was not allowed to touch the offense.
Right.
So the fact that he slid down in their direction really pissed a lot of guys off. Javon Holland, Greg Newsome got into it. Little scuffle ensued. After practice, John Harbaugh was asked about the infectious personality of Cam Scatterbo. Take a listen.
Scat's great. You know, he does bring a lot of energy, and but he did get a 15-yard penalty at the end of practice. Did you notice that? So that's not infectious. Well, it is infectious, actually. Infectious in the bad way, right? Like infectious disease type of thing, We don't want that. So we want it to be directed in a positive way.
Boy, but them Harbaughs, they're the same. They are hilarious. Like the way their brain works and how they say things and how they relate their messaging. I'm going to go here. Like, sometimes he does the things that make you like, scatter-boo! Like, what are you doing? Like, you just got back from the ankle injury, from a horrific ankle injury. Like, I didn't want to look
nasty.
at it. Didn't want to look at the TV when I saw. Like, oh, come on, prayers up for him. When you saw, you're like, man, that's bad. Great, he's a world class athlete. He bounces back. I don't need you doing backflips on stage at wherever he was. I don't need
at Fanatics Fest.
Fanatics Fest. Yeah. I don't need you doing backflips. And he fell backwards, and it just. And I know, I'm sure he's like that 1 out of 150 that he would get hurt on that. Yeah, but I don't even need that right now because I need you. I need you to get back. You know what else I don't need you? The extra bravado trying to run guys over when defenders, because that drives them crazy. Bro, I would have laid you out right there, but I can't hit you.
Yep.
But you're diving at the floor, putting on, and you read the whole piece there, and there's just throughout training camp, he's been putting a little extra sauce on things and really driving, guys annoying on defense. And then I look at Jackson Dart. We ain't even in the regular season. You already been in the blue tent.
In the preseason.
And then in his response, is like, oh, I don't even know why they put me in there and all that. Dude, we had to do this 5 other times. I think this was the 6th time in the blue tent already in a year and, 1.1 years, if you will.
Not even a full season because he didn't start the full season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my whole point is my star running back that's similar to the Shedeur conversation of not only are you good, better than Shedeur, but my point is you're popular. Right? People like you have that infectious personality.
Yes.
I get that. I agree with that. Kind of a fun guy on social media if that's your type of thing. And then Jackson Dart, you're the quarterback of the New York Giants. And then you don't even think, man, I am the face of this franchise. Maybe I shouldn't go out here 20 minutes before or 30 minutes before I let the team know I'm about to do this Trump rally thing.
Exactly.
The quarterback of the New York Giants doesn't think, hey, I'm going to let y'all know. Not like I shot back in my old high school and did something. Right. Okay, we get that. You were just back home. You went out there. So my point is these two guys that are going to be the faces of this particular franchise for the most part, they got some talent over there, as we know. I'm like, we got to wisen up. We got to smarten up. And Jackson Dart not fully understanding that, dude, we know you're tough. We know the game is tough. We need you to go for those extra yards at times. Sometimes we need you to slide. Sometimes we need you to not take that hit. And then if you do, and we're trying to encourage you how to do this thing, or the media is questioning it, don't act like we're crazy. You've been in the blue tent a lot. A career's worth, really. And then, you must not have watched me play in high school or college. This is how I play. You need to get used to it. No, that's not it. I need you to improve. Russell Wilson had to learn that. He got some better at that. We've got, who am I missing? That got really good at sliding because we used to roast him. It's been a few quarterbacks that had to learn the art of sliding and learn the art of, don't take that extra hit. And that's actually a part of the game. That's part of improvement. That's a part of maturation.
Yep.
So between him, Jackson Dart, Scatterbo, and something, I'm just like, all right, you would hope that John Harbaugh is able to kind of wisen them up a little bit because they got talent on both sides of the ball. They got some pieces there. But if it's week 5 and I already lost my quarterback, or week 6, my running back doing too much extra stuff outside of football and I got to suspend him for something, because he's already said some things too, by the way, Scatterbo.
Yep.
So it's like, just tighten up, guys. Tighten up.
If I'm a Giants fan, I love these guys, right? Because they're hard-nosed football players, all caps, right? Like they play football. They're not just, a quarterback and a running back. Like there's the guy who's literally headbutting a brick wall in college, Cam Scatterbo, before a game. Yeah. Jackson Dart's over here putting his body on the line for the Big Blue. I love it. But if I'm just a football fan or, a fantasy football fan, oh my gosh, I cannot have those two guys on the same team.
Ooh, you don't want to run it back.
Because they are going to rub off on each other in all the worst ways. They're going to be so high before a game, you're like, yeah. And all of a sudden, concussion for the quarterback. and the running back just ran into a 300-pound lineman and then did a backflip off the Gatorade thing afterwards and said, what happened? Like, there's a certain level of seriousness that I need from my team if I'm going to be winning at a high clip. And I don't think either one of these guys is what I'm looking for. Yeah. And that's the problem they have, I think, with their whole roster. Like, if you look at a lot of their, especially on offense, their best players seem to be guys who are, I'm not going to say they don't get it, because that's kind of a bridge too far, because a lot of guys in the NFL don't get it. But they're not quite serious enough for me to say, hey, you're the leader of this team. Like Malik Neighbors, you heard him, some of the things he said in the draft.
Yep.
You know, I don't know if I don't need him to be the face of my offense. Jackson Dart, you mentioned in and out of the blue tent, not understanding why. Like, that's just common sense. It means you don't have it. You cannot be the leader of my team. And Cam Scatterboo, what is it called? A meathead?
Yeah.
He's probably the definition of a meathead.
He got Rob Gronkowski even like, hey, man.
Yeah, even Gronk's like, hey, man, you might want to pump the brakes a little bit.
Might be a little too far.
You might went a little too far on that one. And so if the leader of my offense or even the leader of my team has to be the head coach, that means we're probably not going to win a lot in football. Like that,
college football, yes.
Yeah,
but
college
not
football, but not in the pros. It's not going to work that way. So the New York Giants, and I already saw a report that came out today that Najee Harris has been there for a week and a half, is already RB1 because they can trust him to be mature out there. To be a pro, exactly.
And there's the other side to it, Rob G. I mentioned it a little bit with Scatterboo and the Jackson Dart with the whole Trump thing. And again, I could care less. Like the political side of it is more so understanding who you are as a quarterback.
Exactly.
If somebody asked you a question you were forced to answer, it's like that's one thing. But going at this stage of your career, you're trying to prove yourself
running it by your
without
team,
running by your team and all that, and just in the climate that we're in, it's like, all right, hold on. Now, my point is the off the field stuff too, and that's one thing. Last point. It ain't now. I'll admit it's not just them. Shoot, it's even Jaylen Brown to an extent, who is a very big time veteran. You've been in this league a long time, by all accounts, a smart guy. But this need to have to social media it, Twitch it, podcast. Like I have to.
Yep.
No, you don't. No. You understand? I have to.
Right.
Like, but
they're waiting for me.
But,
I got
but
followers.
you didn't.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, and he didn't. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant didn't. Not that they didn't pop on a late night show, not that they didn't tweet here or there. Kobe did. Obviously, Jordan was before that. My point is, like, you don't have to tell everything. And that's the one thing about what social media has created. If I don't put it out here, it doesn't exist. It didn't happen. It's not my thought. And it's okay. And I say that to say, with Scatterboo, I get worried. And Dart, they'll do stuff, go places, do things on Twitch, say boneheaded things, Puka Nacua like
yeah,
things.
Puka Nacua, right.
Where you're
Good
like,
example.
oh, my gosh, here we go again. And I have to always deal with that.
Yep.
That worries me about this generation, too. All right, James Harden re-signed with the Cavs. We know that. They got an extension, got a bunch of money, which put him at a whole new threshold of money. It got me thinking, I'm going to throw some names at you, Rob G. An assortment of players, stars, middling, football, baseball, basketball, of guys who made so much money or more than you might have thought, and see how close you can get. We'll do that next. It's the Odd Couple on the TV things on Thursdays, Fox Sports Radio. Lane Dippin' Kiffin reached out to multiple players on NFL rosters or their representation in an effort to get them to bring a lawsuit against the NCAA. Remember, there was the lawsuit that they won, which allowed them to do that. And this includes some of the players who ended up at Louisiana State, which sources have pointed out wasn't tried in Baton Rouge by accident. It's ironic this case was in Baton Rouge, LSU.
They can find a judge down there.
Yeah, okay. Because we know how college – listen, you know how college towns are when it comes to their college teams. So with that, when I read this and you read further into it, you remember just a couple of days ago, you have him say, oh, man, just – I don't really want to do it, but, they're available, and it would be criminal for me not to take advantage of it. But I told the school, like, we shouldn't be doing this, man. But And it just goes right along the lines of what Lane Dippin' Kiffin is for me.
Okay.
He reminds me, Mike Hill, of you and I both in this business. I see you were in a BJ.
Yep.
You're all the time. We grind. We work together. You and I here. You know, we throw each other lobs, and you work in this business. And somebody hit you up about Joe Blow.
Right.
And they were like, man, Mike, should we bring in Joe Blow and hire him? And you were like, he's good, but do I want my name attached to him? Because he's always doing something shady. And maybe technically it's not illegal, or maybe technically it's not fireable, or maybe, but he might dip on him when he said he wouldn't. He might look him in the eye and be lying. He might bring in somebody he's not supposed to bring in. And that's, to me, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is that dude, Mike Hill, I say, that you leave with your girl, but you don't feel comfortable. Yeah, I got to run to the store. You can just stay with my girl.
Right.
No, you got to come with me, player. That guy that you're cool with, you're cool with him, but you don't fully trust him to stay around your girl or stay around your sister or something. That's Lane Kiffin. There's always something with him. And again, I understand he's being competitive. He's trying to win. But when you look further into this, Mike, and you go back to all the stuff, it's always something. Let's talk about the way he left Tennessee.
Yeah.
60 seconds. Literally a 60 seconds. Hey, I'm leaving. I'm out. I got to go. And he goes to USC. We know about getting fired on the tarmac with the Raiders. We know about all the stuff he was doing at USC and putting in a quarterback, changing his jersey, not telling anybody so that he can try to run a 2-point conversion and so no one would know. We know about the Deflategate they had with him involved. And it's always something. In the way he dipped Ole Miss to go to LSU. Oh, I told all the players they knew. And then you hear all the players, what they say? We didn't know.
We didn't know.
He didn't tell us.
Okay.
We didn't have this meeting. What he's saying isn't true. So that's just my conclusion, that he's going to go and LSU will be fine and they'll win a bunch of games. I don't necessarily pick them to win a national championship, but they'll win a bunch of games. But there's always something with him. There's always a smudge, a smear, and it don't always smell right with Lane Kiffin. And to me, this is just par for the course when you're acting like you had no involvement. But you're the large reason why this even happened.
He stank. It's stanky, man. It really is bad. Anytime Lane Kiffin is involved in anything, it's going to have some kind of smell with it, right? Yeah. Lane Kiffin, all the things that you talked about. When Al Davis calls him whatever he called him,
a liar.
A liar. He's a fraud. He's this. Al Davis, of all people,
that's saying a lot.
Says that about him.
In a velour suit.
Like, you talked about everything that he's gone through in his coaching career, leaving Tennessee to go to USC, the issues at USC, Ole Miss turning that program around, and the way he left
Leaving
Ole Miss,
in a playoff run.
Leaving in a playoff run, wanted to coach the team in the playoffs, couldn't do it. Wanted to take his players down to LSU, all of that. Now he's at LSU, and now with all the things what's going on with Daquan Wright, getting some of the NFL players, and then finding out this report that he is the one that basically said, "Hey, you can fight for another year eligibility. Come on back down here to college, man. Things don't work out with the Cleveland Browns. Things don't work out with that NFL team. You got another year eligibility. We got a spot down here at LSU." Lane Kiffin is all those things that you talked about. Lane Kiffin is not somebody, like you said, that I would trust around my girl. Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real. As Puff Daddy, and not to bring Puff Daddy up.
I want to ask him right now.
I might not want to do that. But, the same kind of stink. But I will say this about Lane Kiffin. What has Lane Kiffin really done wrong? When it comes to college football, when it comes to the rules in college football, Lane Kiffin is just that guy that actually puts it out there. Now, he may lie about how he puts it out there. And Lane Kiffin might be the biggest villain in all of college sports, not just in coaching. He might be the biggest villain in coaching right now. He is the most hated coach in coaching. Like me talking to, like you said, I'm involved in college football around Fox Sports, and I'm around a lot of these players, around a lot of these coaches, around a lot of the insiders. I don't know 80% of them that actually likes Lane Kiffin.
Right.
One thing about Lane Kiffin, though, is he wins.
True.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
Just true. What was the
No, it's not True Detective. It's The Wire, season 3.
Oh, season 3. I don't remember
This
the
was
music.
Martin's request.
They had a different theme song for season 3?
Yeah.
They had a different theme song for every. If they had the same song and they
Just
played it
different
different
versions.
ways in each season.
Yeah, I always remember it a little more bassy, a little more jazzy.
Way down in the hole.
But it depends on which. I mean, there's 50 different versions of it, or at least 5 different versions of the song. He just asked me. He put me on the spot.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at it. I just didn't remember it.
True
Season
Detective.
4 was my season, though. That was obviously season 1 set you up, and then season 4. Season 4 was sad though, because it's like, I believe the children are the future. Like, let them
that was a
kids
tough
be.
season,
Yeah,
man.
let them
That was
kids,
a tough
man.
one
Let
to
them,
watch.
and it put perspective on all the other seasons, like how they grow into that. Because people might say, "How do you become this? How do you become that?" Well, watch season 4, you understand how it is for those kids out there in Baltimore.
I like watching the drug dealers go to war.
So was that season
3?
That's what I said. That was season 3. I might go back and watch. That was what a time to be alive. See our couple, Kelvin Washington, Rob G's in for Rob on this TV theme song Thursday. If you miss any of the show, check out the podcast wherever you get the pod. Just search it and then find us there, The Odd Couple. Follow it, rate it 5 stars. Give us a review, please. We appreciate it. Just search The Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast, and a best of and a full version and the jump off at the end of the show as well. All right, Rob G. As we know, we just mentioned James Harden is making all the money. Despite all the stuff we say about him, as far as like, he doesn't show up when you need him. He doesn't do this. Well, one of the things he did was get the bag. So that got me to thinking about guys who made more money than you. Yeah, if you can hit me with that. So James Harden, you know how much he made, right? He's made now.
He's going to be making over $500 million.
$500 million.
Good pull. You're the man, Chris.
503.
That's it.
That's it.
That's light work.
That is light work. But do you know the other guys who are now in the $500 million club in the NBA?
Those are rookie numbers. I did until you told me before the show. I thought it was just 2 guys. I thought it was just Steph and LeBron.
Yes, you're missing one more.
And then you told me it was Kevin Durant.
Kevin,
so there's now 4.
Kevin Durant. So it got me thinking about some other guys who've made some money in their time. One we talk about in football, a quarterback that is just absolutely ridiculous when you talk about what he's made. And that is one, Kirk, your cousin, not mine.
Oh, yeah.
As much as we talk about
Raiders
him,
legend.
Raiders legend. Now, hopefully for you, right? Do you know his total earnings? Give me a guess of what do you think it is.
I'm going to guess 164.
Not even close.
Okay.
Keep going. I'll give you another one.
212.
Not even close.
Okay, what?
More.
261.
$341 million.
You like that?
Thank you, Jesus.
You like that?
I do like that.
That is absolutely crazy for him. So that's what you get a guy like that who's been solid,
Who's
good career.
never won a playoff game, I think, or has only won 1.
All right, here's another guy who I think is you'd want him on your team, but when I tell you his total earnings, that makes no sense to you.
Okay.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh, he just didn't get paid for the first part of his career, not till he got to the Knicks and then eventually to the Thunder. I'm going to guess 142.
That was a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Really good guess. 156. That was a very good guess. 150.
I'll take the ding. That was cool.
Yeah, that's good. You get the ding.
good.
You get a
All
ding
right.
for that. Do you think Isaiah Hartenstein is worth all of that?
He has been recently.
That's the thing about the NBA now. It's like the baseline is, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah. The baseline is like a $20 million a year player.
Yeah. What about, well, I don't do that one. You would know that one. I was going to say LaMelo Ball.
He's gotten 1 super max contract, or it's not max contract, 230.
It will get up to 260.
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball. Did you see his brother recently? Said he has 10 cars, and they was joking about, it was him and Michael Porter Jr.'s podcast. He was talking about 10 cars and how you're the only driver. And they said he finally hired a driver.
He finally hired a driver.
Because all the
and then he also said that he goes to restaurants or like coffee and he doesn't pay for it.
Well,
he lets somebody else pay for it.
So I was thinking about this actually recently over the last couple of days. I was like, you know what, man? I could really go for a prostitution story in the NFL.
I mean, why not?
Like,
I mean,
you know,
what beats an affair, or
like,
or was I getting topped off when I was in my car
you guys
and wrecked my car?
Listen,
I don't know exactly what that means.
Listen,
I don't know.
If you guys want to get caught up and buried in the weeds on quarterback competition and watching the All-22s, that's fine. But I need a hooker, and I need it fast in the NFL.
Not just a hooker, though. You got to have someone of note, someone that has prominence involved as well, And then it just doesn't hit the same if it's somebody like I could be the hooker. Like I can afford to get a hooker, but I could also be the hooker. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't hit as hard.
There's nothing like bargain shopping for a prosty in an Ohio trailer park.
So stupid.
Like Jed York of the 49ers. Guy owns an NFL team, and he's shopping around for hooks in an Ohio trailer park. $140. That's my kind of guy right there.
Hey, you gotta say
that's my kind of guy.
Hey, a dollar saved is a dollar earned,
That's
right?
right.
I'm just saying.
Jed York arrested Sunday at 9:35 a.m. For trying to pay $140 for sex in an Ohio trailer park, according to court documents obtained by the California Post. York responded to an advertisement on Sunday from a known prostitution website in Ohio and, quote, arranged to have sexual activity with the female in exchange for $140. Now, this is what I want to know. Well, there's a bunch I want to know.
There's a bunch.
What was the original price? Who haggled who, and how did we settle on $140?
I think that was the original price.
Like
Ohio, I just think that was the original price.
Like did he do the old garage sale trick? The old you roll up to a garage sale. My mom taught me this. She's like, hey, if you go up to a garage sale and they say, hey, this desk here is $20, you walk up with a 10 in the front pocket, and then you walk up with 2 5s in the back pockets. And so you say, listen, I don't have 20.
You tell this story all the time.
I'm telling you, it's new.
And you got over on somebody this way before.
And I'm telling you, so you pull out the $10. They go, man, it's $20. I can't do it for 10. It's like, I think I got another 5, and you pull out a 5 and then go, all right, well, I'll take 15. And then you walk out of there with the rest of that $5 in your back left pocket. Jed York walked in there with $150 and was like, listen,
that's not how things work. Old Tacoma truck
I'll give you $130. And they said we can't do $130. And he said,
digital.
all right.
It's all digital, bro.
You don't think he's paying with cash?
Preseason football, 9 minutes left in the first half. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a 14-10 lead over the Buffalo Bills. Jeremy Bernard and Lake McCree finding the end zone for Pittsburgh. Frank Gore Jr. scored for Buffalo. Rushing touchdown for Frank Gore Jr. Brown County, Wisconsin District Attorney formally charged Green Bay Packer running back Josh Jacobs with misdemeanor battery and misdemeanor criminal damage to property. Back in May, Jacobs was originally booked on domestic abuse and felony strangulation charges, which he no longer faces. basis. Seattle Seahawks defensive tackle Leonard Williams agreed to a 3-year, $90 million contract extension with $56 million guaranteed. Major League Baseball, bottom of the third inning, the Royals lead the Blue Jays 4-0. Top of the fourth inning, Astros with a 1-0 lead over the Yankees. Milwaukee leads the Mets 4-0, top of the fourth. I'm Martin Weiss.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 2, it is the Odd Couple, Kelvin Washington. Rob G in for Rob Parker, who is enjoying a little vacay.
Number 2.
Number 2. That's right. Numero dos. Eric Williams coming up in a little bit. Fox Sports NFL reporter. Shop Talk. Rob G, the producer, has cooked something up. Rob G, the co-host. We'll see his response to that in a little bit as well. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel. We are there now. Elijah's got us looking good. All you got to do is search the Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. You'll find us. Let us know your thoughts. You can comment away. We'll read some of those. In fact, we'll read some in a moment here. Thumbs up. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. So go check out the YouTube as usual. And don't forget, again, next hour, we will have Foul or Fair with J.R. Gamble, and we will have Last Call as well. So still a whole lot to get to in this show. Rob G, let's go here. Let's talk a little NBA for a little bit here. The Minnesota Timberwolves have now acquired somebody that has been I don't know if enigma is the word I want to use, but just maybe controversial or somebody that teams are like, well, the athletic, the raw talent, and Jonathan Kuminga, why didn't the Warriors use him enough? Then he goes to Atlanta, has a nice little run where he's balling out, and ended up playing pretty well in the postseason for them, around 14 points a game. And now he signed a 2-year deal with the Timberwolves. And Timberwolves have made some strange moves.
They have. Now, you mentioned Jonathan Kuminga, 2-year, $12 million deal. That's notable because 2 years ago, he was offered a 3-year, $75 million deal from the Warriors. He said, no, I don't want that team option there in the third year. I want to bet on myself. I'm going to take a 2-year, $47 million contract. Team options year 2, they declined the tier option. Has an option to go to the Lakers this offseason, the sign and trade, 3 years, $36 million. Problem with the sign and trade is the first 2 years have to be guaranteed. He's like, no, I want to go down to Minnesota, bet on myself again. It's listed as 2 years, 12, but it's really 1 year, 6, because the second year is a player option. And by all accounts, he's looking to ball out in year 1, cash out in year 2. So I'm asking you this, Dub.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kuminga is obviously aiming for a big payday. They just reshuffled their entire roster, got rid of Julius Randle, got rid of Naz Reid, their only power forwards. Presumably Kuminga's the new power forward. And they brought in, we mentioned in hour 1, the very unserious, the very cult-like following that is LaMelo Ball. So between the LaMelo Ball and the Jonathan Kuminga additions, your thoughts on the Wolves moving forward this season are what?
I don't like it. And by the way, Jonathan Kuminga, while he is talented, and to be honest with you, I was kind of hoping the Pistons would scoop him up, and just that they need bodies, athletic wings, and their team is a little bit different, you know, the way that it's built than the Timberwolves. And also, I think what the Timberwolves are trying to do, the Pistons are trying to at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Timberwolves have been to the Western Conference Finals. They're really trying to get over the hump and get to the finals. So there's the difference why I think the Pistons could have used a Kuminga. I'm going to throw out a name first with the Kuminga before I get to the Spurs as a whole. I mean, the Timberwolves as a whole. My only concern with him is a guy named Dennis Schroeder. And he keeps betting on himself, and it's like, all right, now you better hope this works out for you before you just become a $5 million, $8 million, $10 million kind of guy, and you turn down $20, $25 million a year type of deals like Dennis Schroeder did. Remember, it was a 4 year, $80-something million deal with the Lakers. He's like, no, I'm going to bet on myself. Now he's on his, like, 5th team, and it just didn't really
He's
work
gonna set
out.
the record. He's coming for it.
He absolutely, he's on his way. But by the way, pull that up at some point here. Who is it? So I said that to say now that's Jonathan Kuminga into it, who I think he's got some talent. He's raw. We see that he has ability. But as a whole, the Timberwolves have taken a step back. Here's why. They've taken a step back in a conference where I think defensively they had a blueprint for teams you would look at the upper echelon. Hey, we might not beat the Spurs, but we can compete with the Spurs. We got a Rudy Gobert who can go up against somebody he's very familiar with in a Wemby. We had size in Naz Reid. We have Jade McDaniels. You know how much I love him. You know that. And you were able to, Julius Randle, right? You had size, different types of body you can throw at guys, which helped you against a team like Denver. In fact, you made Denver look bad. Beat them without Ant Edwards for like 80% of the series. And you had a formula to play tough, and you looked up and you say, man, one of the teams that's had the most success for the last few years in the Western Conference when it came to the postseason has been the Timberwolves. Couple of Western Conference Finals appearances, but they stay in the finals. And you're like, man, they need to take that jump. And Julius Randle wasn't it. I admit that. I think there was a time to need to move on from that. But I don't think they've improved. Naz Reid, okay, well, he's not. Okay, well, if you got rid of Randle, I thought maybe it's because you're going to use Reid more. You get rid of Randle and Reid, you get rid of toughness, you get rid of some defense, you get rid of some veteran guys. So for Julius Randle, for all the bad shots, one thing at least, he's a veteran presence. You don't have to worry about him in the locker room. He's a grown man. He's been there. And now you're bringing in guys, I still don't know about them as the leaders. I don't know about LaMelo as a leader. In fact, I do. I don't think he's quite there yet. You bring in a Jonathan Kuminga, I don't think he's that guy. And to me, you lose what the Spurs are gaining now, and that is they learn you're going to have those young mishaps in the postseason, right? And specifically the finals. Made a bunch of bad plays. They were up double digits in every game, and they lost because they were having mental mishaps. And to me, you brought in mental mishaps. The Timberwolves. You brought in a bunch of guys who are going to have to still learn. They're still years away. LaMelo's going to take bad shots where you go, dude, don't you feel the game right now? We needed a good shot, or we needed to hold the ball and run some clock. For all of his talent, there's times you're like, all right, LaMelo, what are we doing here? And Edwards has that at times, and he's admitted it.
He really does. Yeah,
he's admitted it. Where that was a bad shot selection. What am I doing right now? Why would I take that 3 guys on me? We didn't need that right now. And you bring in Jonathan Kuminga, who's still trying to find his way in the NBA. So I just think as a whole, they took a step back from a team that was trying to take a step forward and finally get to the finals. Now, to me, you look like a first-round exit, maybe a second-round exit, and I just don't think they took that leap they needed to compete with the likes of the Spurs and Thunder. And now, to me, they're just going to be a 2K game that's fun as heck to play in the 2K, fun as heck to watch League Pass, but nothing you can count when it comes to April, May, and June.
Dub, you're so right. You can't turn left. You're like a NASCAR track. You would just be going in circles over and over and over and over and over. Because everything that made the Timberwolves a dangerous team is gone.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Julius Randle and Naz Reid. Naz Reid's never been an all-star. Julius Randle has been an all-NBA player, but I think we all know he has some warts. Whatever you think about them from a negative perspective, the fact is what made their team unique was that they were bigger bullies than almost everybody else they went up against. Even you could even say that against Denver. Because Denver has Jokic, but they got Gobert, and then the other 2 guys, the rotation was so many big bodies other teams couldn't match up with. Same thing going on with Wemby. Wemby's a big, tall guy, but they didn't have the girth that Minnesota did. So everything that made them unique and made them such a tough out in the playoffs is now gone. You replace that in turn with who I think we can agree is the most unserious star in the NBA.
Agreed.
Maybe even unserious player, period, LaMelo Ball.
I mean, he told John Morant, hold my beer.
He really did. He really did. And I'm not even just on the court, off the court. Everything he does seems like it's a joke. And it's telling, and you guys talked about this on The Odd Couple when it first happened, as soon as the Hornets had a little bit of success, you would think, hey, we're going to build on it second half of the season. We were statistically the best team in the NBA from January on. As soon as they got any modicum of success, he's gone.
That was telling.
Because we cannot build our team around Brandon Miller and Conca Nipple if that guy is our leader. We got to move on from him because we think that these 2 guys can really be something special, and that point guard is not the right guy to do it for us.
And we got Kobe White.
Yeah, and we got Kobe White. So we have an adult in the room now. So LaMelo comes in. You bring in Kuminga, and again, as a Laker fan, you mentioned as a Pistons fan, as a Laker fan, I want him on the Lakers because he would have filled a role that the Lakers desperately need. A big, springy, relatively big wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We needed something like that on the roster to defend guys 3s and 4s. Having said that, I even knew going into it that he has some warts. And there's a reason why Golden State moved on from him. There's a reason that Atlanta moved on from him. Because he has all of these physical gifts, but he doesn't always apply it in a way that the team needs to be successful. He is still very much one-track minded when it comes to his own abilities. That he thinks he should be a star. He thinks he should get these amount of shots, this amount of points, and that's how he defines success in the NBA. And that's fine because he's so young. Right? If I'm the Lakers or if I'm the Pistons, I can have a guy like that on my team because the rest of the team can fill out the rest of the details, right? We can live with his mistakes. We can live with him growing into his role in the NBA. What I can't have is if I'm Minnesota and I have an unserious point guard, I have at times an unserious superstar, Anthony Edwards, and I'm adding in a guy in Jonathan Kuminga who is telling you with the contract he just took, I am not here for the long haul because you realistically can't even sign me to a bigger contract next season. Even if I perform well, the most you can give me is 1.5 times what I'm getting now, which is still less than what I would have got with the Lakers. So I am here to get buckets, to get stats, to raise my profile so that this time next year, I'm making $22, $25, $28 million somewhere else. And if I'm Minnesota, who fancies themselves a championship contender, I don't know how you can feel that way when you've totally torn down your entire identity and replaced it with guys who have not shown that they seem to be at this point in their career winning basketball players.
It becomes, again, where did they see this as a step forward? When I'm looking at what the Spurs are building, and we all expect, now again, we don't know that they'll get back in the sense that we thought the Thunder would. Now, if J-Dub plays, maybe they do. But you see what the Spurs are. You see what the Thunder are. I'm not as high on Denver. I think the run might be over. That's just me. I know, but some people still say Denver's right there. We don't know what the Lakers are quite yet. I will say, for the first time in a little bit, the West isn't as deep. The West is beatable except for the top two.
Right.
Meaning, like, if I let's say I'm the Lakers, I'm not looking at Minnesota as unbeatable. I'm not looking at the Rockets.
No.
I'm looking at Denver like, all right, they lost a little bit of that thing they had is gone. I got a shot at them. I'm Luka. I'm healthy. I got some guys. I finally got a big. It's
like two and then a glut of everybody else.
I agree. I mean, if you're the Clippers, do they have Kawhi Leonard? I don't even know who team he's on right now. He's in purgatory. Where is Kawhi Leonard? Is he a Raptor? I don't know. Yep. But there's no other really team. So I'll admit this is one of the few times that the more interesting conference is going to be the East. New York again. Can they repeat? How are they going to look? Philly and New York. That's going to be a great battle there. Boston now without Jaylen Brown. It's Jason Tatum's team. What's going to go? Pistons, was that a fluke? Can you come back and give it? Hey, Tyrese Halliburton, can the Pacers make a resurgence? The Hawks have made some nice moves there. The Hornets, you mentioned, they look good. Like the East is kind of.
I was listening to a podcast the other day. Might have been on Monday.
Miami.
Yeah, Giannis in Miami. But they mentioned the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? The Peyton Watson edition. Yep. They got James Harden.
The Cavs, my gosh.
Right. Yeah. They're saying, hey, there is a scenario where Cleveland, all this works out together, and they're a top 2 seed in the East. There is also a scenario where they are a 9 seed.
And didn't have a bad season.
It's just that's just the way things are going to work out because everybody's kind of bunched together. There is no elite, at least regular season. Regular season team where San Antonio, OKC are going to win 60-plus games, and we'll figure out the rest from there.
The East,
I don't know what's going to happen in the Eastern Conference.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Do they take that next step? I mean, the East is going to be actually the more fun conference, which is rare over the last 20, 25 years. But I think they'll be much – because, again, the Suns? Are you thinking about the Suns?
Portland.
Do they get better? But that could be interesting. But
they got 12 point guards.
I know.
Yeah.
They said we're going to just outpoint you. Wemby, we don't have an answer for you, so we're just going to outwing you. So yeah, this will be the one of the few times that I think I look at the West and I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, we know what the two are. We think we kind of know the Lakers, and we'll see with Minnesota. Is there one more behemoth I'm missing?
If you're talking regular season, because the regular season and postseason are different things. If we're talking regular season, I think Minnesota's a play-in team. I can't trust the Melo Ball to stay healthy.
True. Which by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that. because we talked about leadership. We talked about like understanding the when to play, winning basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is a point I've been arguing with my cousin Jamil. I'm calling you out because he's probably listening. He's a big fan of the Odd Couple. Shout out to my cuz. I'm like, dude, LaMelo is spectacular at times. He's one of the more talented people. We know that. But he played, I think, 60 games for the first. If you go look at his rest of the game, it looks like someone's age. 27, 22 games, 32 games. It looks like an NBA player's age. I'm like, I'm not being mean. He has not played a lot of basketball because I believe he played too much basketball. You know my theory on that. Him and his brothers and so many other young guys. Kyrie, you look at all these players, all broken down. I told you my theory. Look at all those number one picks. Anthony Davis, Blake Griffin, Kyrie, Zion, Ben Simmons. Guys are hurt, broken down, tired, fatigued, don't want to play basketball. Go look at the history of that. Lonzo was the number 2 pick. Go look at, I'm telling you, a lot of these star top picks have been injured, hurt, been playing way too much basketball since they were 5 years old. All right, well, we just mentioned Jonathan Kuminga. You mentioned a team that offered him really the best situation financially in the Lakers and maybe a role. You don't know. He could have maybe thrived there. He turned it down. A guy from Southern California turned down the Lakers and Klay Thompson. What's going on in La La Land? We'll tell you. It is the Odd Couple on a TV theme. So on Thursdays, your boys, Kelvin Washington, Rob G, the Odd Couple. Stick with us, Fox Sports Radio. For every sports season is built on preparation, studying the trends, and making the necessary adjustments to reach the ultimate goal. Investing, well, it deserves the same approach. With Webull, you have access to real-time market data, advanced tools, and an intuitive app that is designed to help you make informed decisions. And whether you're actively trading stocks, options, ETFs, and more, or planning for the long term for you and your family with IRAs, cash management, and custodial accounts for children, Webull gives you the tools to invest your way, all in one platform. Looking to take your preparation to the next level? Check out Webull's Learn resources and join their in-app community feed so that you can discuss investing trends and happenings alongside 25 million users globally. And now, to help streamline your trading activities and elevate your strategy, try Vega, Webull's personal market AI assistant that can give real-time analysis, watch list insights, and alerts when earnings drop. So get your financial portfolio game ready by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
Big news when it comes to the NFL and the CTE, which was something that we've known now for years. In fact, they even had a movie, Concussion. Will Smith is in it, and it's a big conversation that's been had. But then ever so often, Ephraim, as you know, they'll come out with new data, new studies, new research, and we learn a little bit more about it. So just diving deep a little bit into this. They did a new research study that comes out. They think the real number could be between about 98% of these 250-something players that they use their brain. Obviously, you have to be, unfortunately, passed away before they can study your brain to find out if you had CTE. They go on in this research to find that NFL players are 4 times more likely to die from neurodegenerative diseases like dementia, ALS, Parkinson's than the general population. And just some other stats around that. But the larger conversation to me, Ephraim, is we do this dance every, like I said, couple of years, 2 years, 5 years, when they have a new study, new research, or sadly someone passes away, maybe takes their own life, and then their family will donate their brain to be studied, and we find out they had it. I want to just say where I am with it, my thought process towards the NFL thought process, and then I want to throw it to you as somebody who played in this league. And obviously, you'll have a very unique perspective when it comes to this. My thing has been this: now that we've learned more, Ephraim, we've got studies, we've got movies. I want this to be like smoking. I want this to be like alcohol. I want this to be like not practicing safe sex. Well, anything where the information is now out there. They're not hiding anything with cigarettes. They're not hiding anything when it comes to alcohol. We know, hey, you smoke cigarettes, you have increased the chances of you getting cancer exponentially, right? We know that. It's out there. I ain't gonna lie, Ephraim, I'm always shocked when I see you walk out of a doctor's office, you see doctors there just having a few. You're like, hey, you know what? But live your life. But it's crazy to see that, but it does happen. But you at least know the information, right? We all know. We've seen all the commercials. They had the people using the thing, and, I lost my ability to breathe. And I'm not trying to be funny, but we've seen those commercials. We know. And for me, I feel like the NFL, if I'm the NFL, I'm not hiding anything anymore, Ephraim. I'm coming full out. I'm backing the data by all of the scientists and doctors. I'm right behind them. I'm championing it. Because what I'm going to say is, this is everything you need to know about your chance playing in the NFL. Here's everything you need to know about football. Because it's, by the way, what also we're learning, Ephraim, is it isn't just the NFL. It starts early. It's starting earlier, 6, 7, 8 years old, taking those hits. So I'm saying, hey, football is inherently dangerous. Here's the numbers. Here's the data. Here's the science. Here's doctors. Here's everything. Research everything you need to know. Because what I think they would find is that majority of people will still participate. Majority of people will still play. Majority of people will still say, I'm going to take the risk because like people do with anything else, drunk driving, they'll say, it ain't going to be me. And I think the NFL could absolve themselves from any litigation, because I would say, hey, wiping my hands clean, Ephraim. These are the dangers. Here's the risk. Here's everything. But it's a great life. Ephraim Salaam was afforded a great life. George Rice, who's a friend of our show, Kerry Rhodes, friend of, all the people that come on the show. Great life. You go to great colleges. Your children will reap the benefits, possibly your children's children. Come. And at least I've told you everything, and I have a feeling vast majority are still going to come. So for me, that's how I look at it. When we get this information, if I'm the NFL, I'm not ducking, I'm not hiding, I'm not doing stuff to all the older players who have issues. I'm taking care of them, and I'm letting everybody know from the future, moving forward, here's the facts, here's the data. And what I found, last point, is every time I've had this conversation with folks like yourself, and I don't know if I've had it with you, but when I've had it with former NFL players on this show, when I was at the old station, whatnot, I've not found one person yet who knows all the data, knows everything, who wouldn't do it again, Ephraim. And so I conclude my point with that. The only point I do want them to take care of the players previously, especially the older ones who won all those lawsuits, who they're lollygagging them around. They're making them jump through hoops to get the money. Some of them have even won lawsuits, but they still won't pay them. We need extra documentation. Please, NFL, take care of them. We know how dangerous we know. Just take care of those players. And moving forward, be fully forthright. Where are you with this? Answer that question for me, too. Can you be the first person I've ever asked this to, former NFL player? Knowing everything, would you do it again?
Of course. I tell people all the time, my kids don't play football because I did. Right? I played so they don't have to. And, football is a game I loved. And I fell in love with it later in life.
Miami Vice.
That's right, the classic.
They got one of the dopest scenes, and it goes viral like once a year. It's Tubbs and Crockett, and they're sitting in the car. Slowly turn that down for me, Chris, so I can set the tune.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and the meme is, you'll get this, Rob G, and people usually will say, me and my homie, when my daughter's crying and says, please come get me from the party.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the scene, I can feel it coming in. And they're just, but it's not he hasn't sung yet. It's just the beat. And they're loading up their guns. And then again, it just captured as me and my homie when my daughter's crying says, come get me from the party. And it's a dope little scene. And just the music playing, it's dark. They got the clothes on and a convertible, and they're loading up the straps. I'm like, yeah, I had to save that one. That one's saved in my archive.
There's a similar one like that with Den of Thieves.
Yeah.
When she comes in for the prom and 50 Cent has all the dudes just working out in the garage.
Yep.
Same thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. There's a dude in that movie. He's had a nice run. He's one of them C-list dudes. I couldn't even tell you his name. First time we ever saw him was on Law & Order SVU. And because he was just the bad guy on the episode.
That guy?
But you're like, man, he really killed that role. Yeah. And now he's been in a bunch of other movies. He's, you remind me of him when I said that. Eric Williams, in about 5 minutes or so, Fox Sports NFL reporter will get to him. Stream us live wherever you happen to be in the iHeart app. Catch us in all your favorite Fox Sports radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day. Be sure to select Fox Sports Radio. Therefore, we pop right up, so you don't have to search for us. All right, Rob G. You mentioned Kuminga earlier. The Lakers, what was that deal that he had? It was a 2-year.
2 for 12.
2 for 12. And the Lakers could have offered him more.
3 for 36.
3 for 36. So 12 on an extended year.
Yep.
But he chose to not go there. Klay Thompson and his father, Michael Thompson. Let me ask you a question. I used to do radio with him
MT.
at the other place. No, he's an awesome dude. Let me ask you a question. But he wanted him to come on back home. You went to Southern corner of Orange County out here, and he decided not to. He ends up signing up with the Heat. Makes more sense to me, the Heat end of it. I'll explain why in a second here. But I think the Lakers, the biggest thing I'll say is I think the Lakers specifically with all their new signings, LeBron's gone, you obviously Rui and the guys that are gone, Mike Smart, so on and so forth. I think people are looking at the Lakers like,
Like, I don't know what they are.
I don't know what y'all are. I don't know if this is a good team. I don't know if it's a middling team. I don't think it's bad because Luka can't be bad, and Austin Reeves, but I think and I also think it might be a sign of how people view in Kuminga and Klay, in that I don't know if I want to go somewhere where the main dude is so ball-centric.
Right. And the guy next to him is also ball-centric.
Very ball-centric.
Yeah.
I got to take 12, 15 dribbles to get this going.
Right.
And it might end up with a nice pass. We know Luka's a great assistman, but it might take a while. And I don't know if you're Klay, if you're at where Miami, one thing they don't have, a lot of shooting.
Right.
So they're going to be looking at you like, hey, man, you're allowed to get up 10 threes a night because we got Giannis. We've got Portis, size. We've got Bam. We've got size and all of that, but we need some shooters. So I think it's a more welcome thing. And if you're Jonathan Kuminga, you're looking at us probably going, I'd rather go to Minnesota because that thing's about to be wide open.
Yep.
LaMelo
Up
can
and
be
down,
going alley-oop, spread the court.
Yep.
I don't think people know what the Lakers are. In fact, I don't even know if the Lakers know what the Lakers are.
I'll tell you what they are. They're melanin challenged. And I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say that potentially you played a lot of ball growing up.
Yeah.
When you walk into a gym and there's a team that is 75% not black, there might be some preconceived notions about how good that team's going to be.
Can I tell you what would happen sometimes?
What's that?
So growing up, and I grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and a lot of the teams you play will be a great mixture. You get the Celine, the Dexter, but then you might go play Detroit Denby, and Martin knows what I'm talking about. You might go play a Country Day. You might go play a Pershing. Sometimes, or Flint, the Saginaw teams. Sometimes the teams you thought, you look at you like, oh, the brother athletic, you end up beating them. And sometimes the teams you're like, man, we about to smoke these dudes. You might win.
I hope that's the Lakers.
But you barely win because, boy, they backdoor cutting you. Hitting you with the three. So sometimes in the bookend, that's why I think we call people like it was a mixed team. Boy, we were United Nations. And that's why we won. But but I get your point. And I do think that matters. Where you're looking
like
at
subconsciously.
I don't know what that is.
Right.
What that team. Is Kessler good or not?
Yep.
Was he good because he's
I don't even know. Who is this Shamashinunu? I don't even know who that dude is.
That's a great point. Like I do think there's an element of because they're guys like Austin Reeves has grew into a guy that we now know.
Yes.
I think he's borderline household name. Saucon Reeves. But you're like, all right, it was a little different when you were feasting as the third guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the number two? Like a real legit number two?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to wait and see. Luka, all right, are you going to stay healthy and in shape? Okay, I think so. Was that Kessler? I don't. So I think that plays a role. People not knowing what the Lakers are. And also Luka, again, controlling the ball so much, which works out throughout his career for the most part.
You have a much better answer than the one I had.
What was yours?
Just, maybe there's too many white dudes.
Just too many white
Yeah,
dudes.
people that don't know how to deal with it. I like your answer better. I think that's the better answer. I don't know. It's snow time. It could be great. It could be not. I hope it's great.
Yo, they got to just embrace the snow time.
I hope so.
The Minneapolis Lakers. They just got to embrace the Minneapolis Lakers and know that. And I'm serious, dude. And if I'm a fan of the Lakers, I'm going to get some snow time shirts.
Hell
and all
yeah,
that
I'd wear one.
You just got to embrace it at this point. Eric Williams on the other side of Martin Weiss getting you updated.
I'm calling you out at the end of this, Kelvin. So if you're going somewhere, make sure you're back in 90 seconds.
Okay.
Halftime, preseason, Steelers and Bills. Will Howard starting for Pittsburgh. He got 2 touchdowns and an interception. One of those to Jeremy Bernard. Frank Gore with the other touchdown for Buffalo. Again, 14-10. That's at the half. The Patriots and the Browns. Dylan Gabriel getting the start for Cleveland. He's 5 for 6, 72 yards through the air. 2 touchdown passes for him. It's a 13-7 lead over New England for Cleveland. Tommy DeVito getting the start for New England. 49ers and Raiders. Kirk Cousins on the field right now. 8 for 11, 51 yards through the air. Mike Washington Jr. started in the backfield for Vegas after Ashton Jeanty is injured right now. 8 carries, 49 yards for him. Mac Jones starting for San Francisco. He's only throwing 2 passes. Major League Baseball, bottom of the 5th inning. The Astros lead the Yankees 1-0. Bottom of the 5th inning. Royals with a 4-0 lead over the Blue Jays. Also in the bottom of the 5th, the Brewers with a 5-1 lead over the Mets. And in the top of the 6th inning, the Braves have a 1-0 lead over the Dodgers. Earlier today, Nationals beat up the Rockies 7-1, and the Cardinals with a 7-5 win over the Orioles. Now, you were talking about Den of Thieves, and you were talking about this C-list actor whose name you couldn't remember.
You know who I'm talking about?
You're snapping your fingers right there on the tip of your tongue, right? You're talking about the main bad guy, right, in Den of Thieves? No? Is that who you're talking about? Who also was in Law & Order?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was, yes.
Yeah. One of the main characters in season 2 of The Wire.
Yes, he was. Yeah. He was on the show. Yeah, but that, yes.
Yeah, so I'm wondering now, have you also? So I'm calling you out because I feel like the real thing that's been exposed here is you've never seen. You didn't finish neither The Sopranos nor The Wire.
No. We finished The Wire.
Oh no. Yeah.
To the very
skipped
end.
over season 2.
No.
What happened? Oh,
Ricky, come in here and tell him we just spent a whole break talking about season 2.
We really did actually.
Oh, you were here too. Yeah.
And Ricky's the one that told me I like season 2, and you besmirched him for it. And I'm wondering now if you just neg it because you never saw it.
I actually told him. Season 2, as we get to Eric here, threw people off because they got into season 1, they got hooked, and then it was a complete 180. And I told him I thought season 2 wasn't as bad as most people because I came later to the party. Now, I was like 7 years later after The Wire than everybody else. Now, I watched it. I did finish it.
You
now,
sure?
Sopranos, I got about a season and a half to finish.
Pablo Schreiber, his name. Also starred in Orange is the New Black.
Also brother of Liev Schreiber.
Is that true?
Yep, or half brother.
How about that?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right.
How would you know that?
Because I listen to the Bill Simmons podcast. They know that kind of stuff.
Never mind. Bill Simmons would absolutely know. My gosh, the most random facts that you get. It could be sports or pop culture. Absolutely. No, but I finished, and I will start rewatching that at some point too, Martin. It's the Odd Couple, Kelvin and Rob G. in for Rob Parker on the TV Things on Thursday. Joined now by Eric Williams, Fox Sports NFL reporter. Eric, man, what's going on? How are you?
What's up, buddy?
The Battle of L.A. right now.
All right, say that one more time. We just got you. Say what about the Battle of L.A.?
I'm at SoFi Stadium, Battle of L.A. preseason.
Oh, that's right.
You know what? Stay there for a minute. I mean, let's just jump straight to it. A lot of people like to do their sexy picks, and a lot of people are saying this could be Chargers, Rams here in L.A. Is that what do you think of that? Is that crazy, or is it not too far-fetched?
Well, I think it is crazy. It'll probably be the first time in league history that it happens. I'm all for it because it would be an easy commute for me. So, logistically, let's make it happen.
Is it going to happen realistically? Probably not. I think the Rams have a better chance than the Chargers, but I think that move, get Mike McDaniel as the OC, gives them a puncher's chance to be able to, not only get to the postseason, but win a game with Justin Herbert.
Well, speaking of the Rams, I saw you tweet out the other day that it's looking like Stetson Bennett is going to be locking up the backup role behind Matthew Stafford, not their ballyhooed first-round signal caller quarterback. I know this is revisionist history, but seeing that they have a Super Bowl roster, seeing that it looks like Bennett's going to be the QB2, do you think they made a mistake with that draft pick?
No, I'm not going to say that they did. I understand why they did it, having that extra first-round pick and maybe not having an opportunity to be up there next year, which obviously is going to be a good quarterback class. They're able to get potentially their quarterback in the future, this year. I guess my concern is neither one of these guys have played a regular season snap, and this is a team that's heavy favorites to win a Super Bowl. Would be nice to have Jimmy G on your roster, a guy that's played in a lot of games. Should, Matthew Stafford suffer some kind of hamstring injury or something where he has to miss a couple games, and you can bring a guy in there that can go out and play winning football. That said, Ty's looked good in the opportunities that I've had to see him look good in the preseason game, although, they kind of had guardrails in terms of the offense and what they're asking him to do. But by far, Stetson Bennett has had the most snaps with the second unit. Looks more in command of the offense than Ty, which is to be expected. This is his fourth season. He's played a lot more than Ty, and McVay has one of the more complex offenses in the NFL. So I think they're just going to take their time with Ty. It would make sense for him to be the third quarterback starting out, and then Ty be the second quarterback, unless, they look around during final roster cuts and somebody like Carson Wentz is available, who's been in their system, who has experience, and with this roster, again, might make more sense as your number two.
He is Eric Williams. And by the way, I'm in agreement that, hey, why not get him now when you can? Because it looks like you're good. You'll be a really good team for a couple more years at least. And if he ends up being anything like you think he is, you got a guy in the future. So I'm with you on that. Fox Sports NFL reporter Eric Williams on with us here. Let me go to maybe a division, if you will. I'm looking at the NFC North, and you have now Kyler Murray with the Vikings. We know Jordan Love, obviously, with the Packers, and Caleb Williams. Everybody expects the Bears to take a big leap. Where do you come out in that division? Is it the Bears to win? Are the Lions going to bounce back? Is it, hey, don't sleep on the Packers? Where do you come out in a division that should be one of the better ones again in the NFL as a whole?
Yeah, I'm riding the Kyler Murray train.
Really? Is it a train or is it just
it's like three
Uber?
dudes? Yeah.
Is it a Waymo? Like, I think it's just
I might be the only person. I don't know. But for me, having watched Kyler a lot, he's never had a good defense in Arizona. This is going to be the best defense that he's ever had to complement what he can do on offense. He doesn't have to go out there and make every play. We saw what this offense looked like a couple years ago when Darnold was running it. And I think, it's debatable, Darnold or Kyler. Kyler's pretty talented. I think he's the more talented quarterback, to be honest. Having watched both of those guys up close a handful of times. So I think he's going to play well in the system. I think what he does on offense will complement what they do defensively in terms of the pressure. I know, top to bottom, it's one of the better divisions in the league. And obviously you have to respect what Johnson was able to do in his first season with Chicago, and Detroit has a lot of playmakers on offense and defense. But, KOC is a good coach. Kyler's a good player, and I just feel like he's kind of the missing piece for that team.
Well, Eric, speaking of quarterbacks, the big story this week, of course, the Cleveland Browns. Somebody had to win that QB1 job, and they've decided to go with Deshaun Watson. Who knows if that's going to be the entire season or just the first 2 weeks, but what do you think about the whole situation there in Cleveland and what it means for Shedeur Sanders moving forward?
Yeah, I don't know if there was really a winner, to be honest, in watching both those guys play. I think when you just consider how much money they paid Deshaun, it just made sense to go ahead and run him out there one more time and see if he could kind of create the magic that he was able to produce when he was with Houston. He's got 2 road games, opportunities to do that, but obviously the fans are clamoring for the Browns. And, a couple people I talked to around the league believe that Shedeur can be a franchise quarterback in the right system if given the opportunity. And just needs the reps to go out there and show that he can produce. So I think for me, it's a 2-week audition for Deshaun, considering how the fans have responded when he's been on the field. If he could kind of create some magic and win a couple games early, then you continue to ride him. If it looks bad, you get Shedeur in there, and then you can see if he's going to be the guy or not, because obviously they're looking to 2027, which again is going to be a talented quarterback class coming out.
All right, we got one more real quick for us here. I'm going to go some AFC quarterbacks that are big-time names but had rough seasons. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Which one has the bounce back? And not just themselves, but the team.
Mahomes, that's the person I trust the most out of those names that you just mentioned. Obviously, it looked bad last year, 6-11. He's coming off the knee injury, but just the talent and he's the most clutch player in the league, in my opinion. The moment's never too big for him. And then, I think getting Kenneth Walker is going to help him. Anytime Andy Reid has had a legit back, whether you go back to Brian Westbrook or LaShawn McCoy, his offense has produced and been explosive. And so with a running offense to balance what Mahomes does in terms of passing game, he doesn't have to go out there and throw it 40, 50 times. And I think their defense will kind of figure it out with Spags. I like Mahomes to get back.
All right. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, even just from a fan of the NFL, it'd be good to have that villain in there. Even if people love him or hate him, at least the Chiefs are in the mix in the story, in my opinion. Eric, appreciate it, man. We'll do it again soon. Thank you so much.
Have fun at the game.
Okay, sounds good, guys. Appreciate
it. No doubt. Make sure you give him a follow. E-Dub NFL 22, Eric Williams. All right, on the way, Shop Talk. See what Rob G has cooked up for us on this TV theme song Thursday. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. But I think there's a part of him that says, I'm going to go out and I'm going to put in, hey, let's make a better team. Let's compete.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. And at the end of the day, I'm 40 years old. I had a great run. I run 4 rings, couple of MVPs, went to 6 finals. I had a heck of a career. Some people put me in the top 10. I don't put them quite there. Right on the outside looking in. Is that a story for, is that?
Almost choked. Okay.
Did I bury the headline?
Oh my God. How can you is he the greatest shooter of all time?
Yes.
Okay. How can you not put him in your top 10 when you just named all his accolades and he is the greatest shooter of all time?
First of all,
Finals
another
MVP.
greatest shooter of all time might have been if he was able to shoot as many as these guys are now. If Larry Bird was told he could shoot 18 threes a game, we wouldn't bat an eye.
He made him.
He might have been there.
He made him.
He might have been.
Steph made him.
Oh no, that's why I said he's the greatest.
Yeah. And it's not only just his 3-point shooting; he can score. Steph is a scorer as well.
So why?
And what he did with the Olympics is all that.
Top 10.
Huh? He's definitely top 10.
Why is that blasphemous?
Oh, I think it's blasphemous. I mean, obviously everybody's got their own top 10, and we can go back and forth.
You tell me your thought on this, so I can start writing down my 10.
God! Oh, see, now we're gonna go into a whole different.
We are, but while you doing that, I'm writing.
I think, because first of all, he's the greatest shooter of all time. On one of the greatest teams of all time in an era where they had a dynasty or whatnot. You mentioned all the accolades that he had, and he got that Finals MVP finally, right? So he got that Finals MVP. What he did in the Olympics, how he carried the team 2 years ago in those last couple of games, all right? So Steph Curry, you can ask anybody that's in the top 10 that's currently playing today, LeBron and all those guys, if Steph Curry's a top 10 player of all time, and they will put him in the top 10. Because how can you maybe the defense is in there, obviously.
No,
he's a defensive liability, but at the same time, we're always talking about the offensive numbers and the accolades and the things and the hardware that he's won and all that. Tell me one thing that's keeping Steph Curry out of the top 10.
The other 10 guys.
Okay. Well, once again,
so listen,
it's always subjective.
It is subjective.
Yeah.
But just off the top of the dome, while listening to you, as you saw, engaging and paying attention, I wrote out 8 or 9 that I just
tell. Okay, let me see who's better.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Just stop me when you say Steph.
Okay.
So say, matter of fact, just stop me by saying Steph.
Okay.
Clearly MJ, clearly LeBron, clearly Magic, clearly Bird, clearly Kobe, clearly Shaq, clearly Tim, clearly Dream, Hakeem. See, that would put him at, I believe he would be 10 at that point, and I might not, that's just me off the rip.
You got a lot of, all right, so you got Kareem, you got Shaq, you got Hakeem, you got a lot of centers in there, right? I think Hakeem's the most underrated mega superstar of all time.
Are you about to tell me that I think Steph is better than Dream?
I think if you're going to put I'm talking about top 10 players of all time and what Steph has been able to do, the rings that he's won and whatnot. I know Hakeem's got his 2 rings. I know he's an MVP. I know all those things. I know he's once again Dream Shake, everything that he had, the defense that he played.
Arguably, you could put him as the greatest defender player. If you want to say it's him, if you want to say it's Russell, but he's right there, top 3.
He's definitely
best.
there. But once again, this is your top 10, my top 10.
Is he the one you would say?
I would say stop at Hakeem because I would definitely put Steph in my top 10 over Hakeem. I would have to. And I love Hakeem. And I hate saying that because once again, I said Hakeem.
Well, you made me do this. This wasn't even what we were supposed to talk about.
I know,
we were supposed to talk about the idea of him re-signing. Should he go somewhere else or not? But dang it, you wanted to do this. Now here we are. And now you got Shaq over Dream.
And so here's why when you do the top 5 and you do the top 10s, we're going to argue all day and night. This is the barbershop. And once again, if
Timmy, is he over Tim?
No, it's not over Tim. Tim's got the championships.
Tim's over Dream.
Tim's over Dream. Tim's definitely over Dream. No. Tim's the greatest power forward of all time. When you're talking about greatest ever, you're talking about greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry.
That's not correct. I would take Dream. I'll tell you why. Over on the Duncan situation. Only because I've seen Dream do it with players, without. Like, I've seen him have to be the guy. He made it to finals. He just ran up against the Celtics. And I've seen him through the 80s, through the 90s. I want to talk about, like, the 00s. That we're going to move past that. But I just think defensively, I think his upside was a bit higher than Tim.
Okay.
Meaning he can score more. He was a better defender. If you say Tim, I'm not mad at that. But the Steph I'm mad at over Dream.
What is that called right there? An asterisk?
Asterisk? What's the asterisk?
Okay. What was that, 2000, I don't know, 1994, was that 94 they won championship?
What are you trying to say? What you trying to say?
94, 95, they went back to back. Who was missing? Who was missing?
I forgot.
Who was missing? Don't, you ain't forget. You ain't forget, we're watching the White Sox right now.
Yeah.
Who was missing at that time?
MJ.
Okay, all right. Let's start right there.
Shout out to Friends. It was all right. Never mind, full-on cup of tea. But I'll be there for you. Don't do that.
I like Friends.
It was cool.
It was just always on for me growing up.
Yeah, no. It's still on. My daughters will be watching SpongeBob or some Nickelodeon thing, and at 9 o'clock, Friends come on. And I think it's like, all right, go to bed, kids. Y'all ain't trying to watch Friends. Yeah, it's the Odd Couple on the TV theme song Thursday. Clearly, that's why you hear all the theme songs. Thank you to USC Chris setting us up straight. And thank you to Eric Williams, who just joined us moments ago. Catch that on the podcast. If you missed any of the show, just search the Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast. A best of version will pop up, a full version as well. Rob G is still working multiple positions here to make sure we get that up. So just search the Odd Couple wherever you get your pods. It'll pop up. All right, let's get to it. It's now time for Shop Talk.
Ain't nobody exempt in the barbershop. You know that. Ain't nobody exempt. You can talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop.
Now, it's Shop Talk.
That's right. It's Shop Talk here on The Odd Couple, the segment we talk about something happened outside of the world of sports. It's a heavy heart this week. Dolly Parton passed away, one of the true legends, not just in, music, just overall.
A human.
You could not find any person to say a single negative thing about Dolly Parton. She was that beloved by everybody, by all walks of life. And it got me thinking, actually got Dub thinking, and he passed it on to me, so I'm going to share it. Who is one celebrity that if you found out after the fact that, you know what, they just weren't a very nice person, that would blow your mind? Or if there is somebody that you've already met and have interaction with that was like, I thought they'd be cool and they just weren't, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. We've all been in spaces with a lot of famous people. Dub probably more than most. So we'll start with you. Kelvin Washington. Who is the person that you would be shocked to find out is not a nice person?
Well, one I'm going to say just because she had an epic run in the summer, Mariska Hargitay.
Oh, yeah.
If I met Mariska Hargitay, me and my wife, let me tell you something. My wife used to watch Law & Order SVU, and I was just like, that's your little Thursday show. Then one day, you know how it goes when you got a girlfriend or a wife, you sit down, you start watching. I was all in. Hence why we were talking about earlier when Martin brought up the guy. And now she's been on a run the last 20 years between the show and just everybody love her. If I met her and she wasn't nice, I'll be sick. I got a couple of them. Pharrell Williams.
Ah, okay.
If Pharrell I'm not saying he had to go out of his way
Right.
nice, but if he just wasn't a cool cat that would just be like real, like, oh man, that was dope to meet Pharrell, I'll be sick. Tracy Ellis Ross.
Okay.
Is another one that I would be like.
She's always thirst trapping these days.
She is gonna drop a thirst.
She
trap
really is.
to remind you about Cougarville out here in these streets. But that's just a few on top of my head. People like, oh, they gotta just seem like they'd be nice, cool people to be around. You know, Pharrell, Tracy Ellis Ross, Mariska Hargitay.
Okay.
Who you got?
Well, first USC Chris.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's probably one of the only celebrities I can really say I've met, but getting to shake his hand and party with him and everything, Sir Ian McKellen. I don't think
You
it was a
party with Ian McKellen?
He was down in Savannah for like a film festival down there. By the way, night and day, apparently, from what I heard from their friends, between him and Liam Neeson, who was there like a couple years prior. Liam Neeson didn't like being in Savannah at all, but Ian McKellen, yeah, he did like a showing of his movies Monsters and Men, and then like hung out afterwards. It was like a Q&A, hung out afterwards and everything, had a few drinks. It was great.
All right, I like that.
I don't think there's a mean bone in Ian McKellen's. I think if you're knighted like that, you can't be a bad person. You can't have mean bones.
All right, I like that. Martin?
I'll pass on the people that were mean.
I understand that one. I understand that.
Why are you afraid?
Because they're friends of the show, Rob G.
Oh, Rob Parker? I get it.
But Michael Hyatt, who you may not know her name, but she was the mom. She was one of the moms in The Wire. Not D'Angelo Barksdale's mom. She was in the Barksdale family. She was also Franklin Saint's mom in Snowfall.
Oh yeah.
She was an angel. I met her once at one of these Hollywood to-dos.
Yep.
And she talked to me and my wife up for like 35 minutes. And
Yeah.
It was really nice. She's 2 thumbs up from me.
Dope.
I'll tell you what, if I ever met Morgan Freeman and he ended up being a jerk, I don't know what I would do.
See, that one that wouldn't surprise me, actually. Not jerk, but just like, I ain't got all that much time.
You know what?
I've heard some things.
We just saw him pass. I would be shocked if we get any bad stories ever about Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels like one of those guys
he
who just
scared me when I was little.
Yeah, I'm about to say
he is scary, but I don't know everything you know about Tim Curry. I don't know if I could.
I'll tell you one person, and this is not fair to this person because I never actually interacted with him for him to rub me the wrong way. But because you couldn't get close to him, it rubbed me the wrong way. Our guy Stephen A. Smith.
Now, Stephen A. Smith
met him at Rob's birthday party in Vegas, or tried to meet him, but you couldn't get within like 15 feet because he had a big old security guard, and you're like, yeah. See, I'm not afraid to say it out loud, Martin. It's okay.
Hey, I'm not making the host money today.
Yeah.
And Rob says he's super nice, but I couldn't actually get close because he had security.
My only interactions with him, he's been cool. Back when I was at the other place, we did a couple shows. He been a guest on there. He was cool. But he does love the aura. Like, I got the security when we walk through, so he does have that. Rick Ross was my disappointingly like, come on, man. You treating your fans like this? I was back and doing Meet Radio. We had a little thing. You can win a chance to meet him. He was mad late, like 2 hours late, and he was treating them bad. And I was kind of like, maybe that was years ago. Maybe he's improved, but that one always threw me for a loop. And Sophia, what's her name?
Sophia Vergara.
Yeah, she not bad, but just I thought she'd be a little nicer, a little more fun.
We are Buffalo.
I don't want to do all 6 teams, but just some teams who made the playoffs a year ago who you don't think are going to make the playoffs this season, and some teams who didn't make the playoffs a year ago that you think will make the playoffs this year, and the Kansas City Chiefs is an obvious one. So I think that's where most people would start, right?
For me, the easiest one, I would go with a team that made the playoffs last year that won't make it this year.
Yeah.
For me, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers,
right?
Where you're banking on another year of Aaron Rodgers getting older. Mike McCarthy, new head coach there. And then really it comes down to the division where you'd expect the Ravens to be better in Jesse Minter's first year. And then the Bengals, it's hard to see the Bengals going 6-11 again if Joe Burrow could stay healthy in Cincinnati.
What are you thinking, Mikey?
I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just don't think that division is good. I think that they're going to get one team in, and my guess is going to be the Houston Texans because they do have that championship-level defense.
Right.
And I think Trevor Lawrence comes back to earth.
This is our training camp. I want to remind you guys, you chose 2 easy ones, okay? In order for this to work, you have to have a hot take. And so I'm going to say the Seattle Seahawks, the reigning Super Bowl champions. Why? They're in a very tough division.
We picked the 3 and 4 seed.
I picked the champs. I mean, how about that? To not make the playoffs this year. Why is that a bad pick? It's a hot take. It's a good take.
Because there's almost no scenario where the Seahawks go from a team that was 14-3 last year to a team that falls out of playoff contention unless you're just banking on an injury to Sam Darnold at the quarterback position and they're having to rely on Jalen Milroe playing quarterback.
I'm not saying they won't be in playoff contention. I'm just saying they're in a tough division. If you're going to do this, it has to be a hot take. Of course the Steelers. Right. I mean, they got in, at 9-8 last year? And the Ravens are in that division. They didn't get in.
So last year, the Steelers...
Or they did. They did get it, I think.
Last year, the Steelers were 10-7. I think if you're going for the easiest answer for this, for a team that missed the playoffs, that's going to make the playoffs this year, the easiest answer would just to be go to the NFC North, where the Lions finished 9-8, dead last there, and say the Lions are going to make it. Because somebody has to win that division, and all 4 teams in that division are pretty strong.
NFL preseason action. Fernando Mendoza didn't get the start for Vegas, but in his first drive did throw an interception in his third preseason game. It's now 6-3. Vegas leading San Francisco in the second quarter. Mac Jones started for San Francisco. Adrian Martinez now in at quarterback. Cleveland leads New England 20-0 with about 10 minutes left in the first half. Dylan Gabriel getting the work today, 8 for 9 for him, 2 touchdown passes in the early goings. Tommy DeVito got the start for the Patriots. Now Baron Morton in at quarterback. Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Will Howard got the start with 2 touchdowns and an interception. Drew Aller now in the game. He's 3 for 5, 34 yards passing. Frank Gore Jr. with a rushing touchdown, as well as Skylar Bell. In Major League Baseball, the Houston Astros lead the Yankees 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm Martin Weiss.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 3, The Odd Couple.
Number 3.
Number 3. That's
Number
right.
3.
It is The Odd Couple. Kelvin Washington, Rob G in for Rob Parker. Enjoying some vacay time. We still got a lot left in this hour. We got Fowler Fair with J.R. Gamble, MLBBro.com managing editor. We'll chop it up with him. Foul! We'll do that with him a little bit as well. YouTube. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. If you are not and you want to be, just search The Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Go ahead. There it is right there. There you go, Elijah. Subscribe, like, share, and all the comments. We enjoy them. Pass it along. Become a part of the Odd Mob, YouTubians. And speaking of YouTubians, Martin, what we got?
I got a few here from the one. Let's see here. Shedeur Sanders topic every day. Y'all get ready. That guy comments every single time that I'm here.
He's all in?
Yeah, he's all in. Ben Simmons played multiple sports growing up. His problems are mental. But really, I just did all this because Bo Benson with Rob G with yet another awful take.
That's
My
right.
goodness. I haven't even heard it yet, but I know it's bad.
I can see that, yeah.
Shout out to Bo.
Shout out to Bo.
Was he on kid
Don't
number
shout
6?
out to Bo. This is like going on like month 7 of him not working here.
Well, you're looking at one guy who took about 9 months off, too.
right,
I
that's
thought you
right.
had a baby. You was going so long.
I'm going to have to.
Yeah. You don't subscribe. Listen, you ain't taking no more than 2 weeks.
Rob Parker missed like the entire summer.
Rob Parker's also 92.
That's true.
He 30-something-year-old Rob Parker ain't missing that much. Trust me. I've had 3 kids.
30-something-year-old Rob Parker wasn't even at home with his wife. Got to get to the stadium. Oh, God.
Rob Parker loves just the state. Just, you know this, Martin. He just loves to be around it. Like, he ain't like doing an article. He ain't writing nothing, no column. Just let me be around it.
Let me just be out there.
Let me just be out there. We just on the scene. Let me go to the game. Let me just be in the atmosphere. He just loves to be around it. My point is, though, trust me. Listen, I had 3 kids. Not a single one of them I took more than two weeks.
Why? Well,
Okay.
because you've been like this side of the glass this whole time, right?
The whole time.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, when I'm at TV, which kind of took off, if you will.
Right.
The one thing you're not going to do is be gone for 3 months or something.
Uh-huh.
And then, Joe Blow up in there and everybody like, hey, I like Joe. Ho, 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 ho. You know what I mean? Especially in the Lord of our the year in the Lord of our Savior 2026. People's attention span is shorter than ever. Back in the day, there might have been some viewer and listener loyalty back in the day, right? Boy, nowadays in the 99 and the 2000s.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Early in my radio career, there was a very big show at a place I was producing at that was off for a week, right? Vacation.
Yeah.
And they asked our show to be the one to fill in. I was like, oh, that's really great. It's a big opportunity. And then I find out sometime later, oh, well, they would pick certain people because they didn't want to have anyone outshine them. So they thought they would go with the lower tier host to fill in. And that way you would miss them and they would come back later. Do you feel that way when you take time off TV? Like, oh, they better not put someone.
Oh, no.
Let me get somebody else.
It's you know what it is, to be honest with you? It's the polar opposite now.
Okay.
Because when you've built something that people enjoy, you want something to be
want to keep
good.
the standard.
Yeah, don't make the
They're
show
like, nah, we want the worst guys you can get.
No, and I do think
Is that why you filling in today?
That's big facts. That's big facts.
You know what? Martin has replaced Rob Parker as the person that you got the most smoke with right now.
I'm not. It's a one-sided smoke.
Well, I agree. Okay, I take that back. The smoke is being tossed your way. It is a one-sided smoke.
He started this whole thing. No hello, no nothing. Just, I've never seen you in glasses before. Huh?
I've never seen you with glasses before.
But that's not the way you said it.
He wanted a whole hi, how was your day?
I'm just
it's
saying.
hot outside in L.A.
You know what I didn't say? You know what I didn't say to you, Kelvin?
When it's 102
Why you got an L.A.
outside?
hat on, bro? I just said hello. That's it.
So, yeah. Well, everybody. You know what? That's even Mike Hill.
Are you
Everybody wearing
self-conscious
sweatshirts.
about your glasses?
Listen, I'm just saying. If you want to, don't throw smoke and hide your hand.
How am I throwing?
You know how this. You know this goes way back. This
this is what I'm talking about.
Back.
This is some
But I'm just saying,
deep-rooted
this is the
something.
way he started
The
today.
glasses was his final straw. I don't know what you be doing, Rob G.
I'll tell you, he started taking that shot and he lost his edge. That's really what happened.
I don't know what it is. I don't think I had no smoke. What you gonna be thinking?
I don't think so.
Nah. And then we'd be nerding out too.
You just found out you didn't have smoke with him like last week. You just said that at the start of the show.
Well, yeah. Well,
See?
because for a while I couldn't read this man. I ain't gonna lie. Back in the 2018s and all that, he would, hey man, you're doing the show. Yeah, hey, here's the stuff. I'd be like, oh. Then I come in, hey, Rob G, what up? What up? Y'all know how I am.
Yep.
Yeah, what's up? Hey, you ready to show? Like, oh. So I couldn't read you. Now I get you. I told you about roasting the other day. You're the most softest, kind-hearted.
I got 2 girls. You kind of have to be.
You got 3.
Yeah.
Because
my wife.
Your wife running the house.
She does run the house.
Not two.
I just live there.
You do.
And even then, I don't even get to sleep in my bed all the time.
And you don't.
Yeah.
And you have no say.
Nope. It's like, oh, Ari wants to sleep in the big bed tonight. I guess you're staying in the twin. All right.
No, it's cool. That's what I wanted to do anyway. Yeah,
no, it's more comfortable for my back.
Yeah, I prefer to be there, baby. That's all.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Dang it, I was about to say something else. I forgot what I was about to say, too. Dang it. Rhyme. We were talking about something. Dang, I forgot what I was about to say. Dang it, I'm mad about it. All right, let's get into this. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but Mike Hill and I ended up going on a tangent about Steph Curry and where he is in the all-time legacy and top 5, top 10 kind of conversations. So I wasn't really trying to go there with him. Where I was trying to go was, and Rob G, you got more of the details, but him possibly signing an extension with the Lakers to get him through the age of 40. And that's where I more or less we were going to go. But we ended up getting into that. But the conversation becomes, and Rob Parker and I have had this, where, listen, how do you want to end this thing? Is it going for the ring, going for the best situation, a la like his partner in crime, but Klay Thompson, I'm going to go to Miami where at least, hey, maybe I can compete. I can be the guy to take them over the edge.
Right.
Because if the Miami team, which we all kind of think, middle of the pack, maybe, they had a Steph, you're like, oh, hold on, all right, now that changes some things. Or do you go somewhere else? Or do you stay one team, not everybody does that anymore, loyal to the soil, and ride it out there? Where are you when it comes to what Steph should do?
Steph Curry should absolutely sign that extension and ride it out there in Golden State. Because the idea of dipping out and going somewhere else because you feel like the team has not done enough to put things around you does not apply to Steph Curry. That applies to Minnesota Kevin Garnett. That applies to Cleveland LeBron James, or the first iteration. That applies to Portland Damian Lillard. Where it's like, hey, man, if they had done more, all due respect, Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell are not good second options for you, KG.
Not during that era.
Not during that time. You needed some more than that. CJ McCollum, at best, is probably a really good sixth man, and you have him as your number 2 star, and you're a small backcourt, it's not going to work. LeBron James, I know your style of play kind of lends itself to where you want to have role players around you, but if we could get a better second option than Mo Williams, that should be the goal here. And for Steph Curry, he went to a situation there in Golden State where he got drafted to. They built basically 3 different championship teams around him. They drafted really well, right? Him and Klay were mid to late lottery picks. Draymond famously in the second round. They made shrewd moves, Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa, making a trade for Andre Iguodala. Like, they made smart decisions, and they built organically one of the best teams, regular season teams we've ever seen, 7-3-9, right? They won a championship. Then they lose in the finals. What do? They pivot. Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Add KD to that team. And now, for my money, that is the single greatest team I've ever seen, 2017, that first year. Like, if I'm picking 01 Lakers.
I was about to say 87
Celtics, like whatever.
86 Celtics, 87 Lakers, 01 Lakers, 96 Bulls would all want to say, hold up.
Right, but I'm saying, for my money, that's the team. But whatever team you think, that's the one I'm thinking. right? Then KD leaves because of the whole Draymond situation or his own insecurities, whatever. They pivot again, and they say, all right, well, we have Steph Curry. We have a kind of a broken down Klay Thompson. Draymond is still pretty good defensively.
He might come for you.
Right? But it's like, hey, Jordan Poole, which at the time was a thing. Like, I know now he's a punchline, but there's a time he was really good. Andrew Wiggins, we're going to resuscitate his career. Right. And he became a really good player for them. So Bob Myers, Joe Lacob, all those guys around there, they did a really good job of building teams around him. It was never for lack of effort. It was never because they made stupid decisions. It was just, hey, we tried to do timelines thing. It didn't work. We tried making trades for Giannis and Markkanen and AD. We didn't have the assets. Now, part of it is because they didn't draft well with the do timeline thing. But, hey, so if I'm Steph Curry, I don't think he has the built-in excuses, hey, you guys didn't do enough for me. I have to go somewhere else. Like, no, they did plenty for you. And this idea that we need to continue to mortgage the future for a guy who's 37 is just not reasonable. And if it was good enough for Tim Duncan, if it was good enough for Dirk Nowitzki, if it's good enough for Kobe Bryant, you can win a championship in public, you can miss the playoffs in public.
I like it. And I'll just add a couple extra points. I listen, there's a few times where it just makes sense for the organization and for the player, right? There's very few times where like, all right, on paper, this just makes all the sense in the world. Maybe you look at a John Elway. Just be a Bronco your whole life. You know, ride it out in the sunset. Obviously, he won on a championship. But my point is, we've been through the good times, the up times, losing in Super Bowls, winning a couple Super Bowls, middling where we couldn't get there, and it just makes sense. You mentioned Tim Duncan. Organization, we don't want to lose Timmy, what he means for us in the locker room, in the community. Timmy, I don't want to leave here what I've built, what I've earned, how you guys have treated me. Sometimes there's a marriage made in heaven. Part of the marriage is you being a married man, and I know sometimes it's the good times and bad times. It ain't always going to be good. It ain't always going to be winning 60, 70 games. So we've given you our all, you've given us your all, and we're going to have to live with that, right? You're putting the best 100% in, she's putting 100% in the marriage. You got a rough time, you lost a family member, I'm here for you. You lost a job, I'm here for you. Just that's how it is. And I think that's what Steph is to not only the organization, the Warriors, but also the community of the Bay Area. I think he is embedded in the community now. I think he fully has embraced what he and his family, wife and children, means to that community. I think he's fully embraced being in there from a VC, venture capitalist business standpoint, that area. And I think it makes sense. And also, this will be the differentiator between him and his counterpart and his peers. Kevin Durant, team hopper. LeBron, technically, I will even admit if I'm Steph, maybe he was a better player than me, but hey, team hopper. You know, you can go to James Harden, whoever, Russell Westbrook, the guys of his ilk.
Everybody. Basically everybody
but
in
him.
his era, yeah.
Everyone in his era except for him, for the most part, right? So that's the differentiator. And if you're LeBron, once you started leaving, the differentiator for him, like when we talk about the GOATs, was, okay, I'm never going to beat Jordan because I've lost in finals. So his started to be, well, every team I've gone to, we've won. Like if he were to win in Philly, he can retire and say, every team I've gone to, I won a ring for them.
Right.
That's kind of crazy. You know, I won in both conferences. So when you start to build your legacy, if I'm looking at Steph, another thing I have is, hey, I changed the game. Now, for better, for worse, I don't know, but I've changed the game. I can't tell you, make you guys shoot these threes. I just know I changed the game. I won a bunch. We had a lot of success, setting records for wins in 73. And like I said, my differentiator is that I stayed on the team. But they're my peers. My run of this NBA, y'all was hopping everywhere. In fact, some of y'all came to me.
Yeah.
So and then there was rumors that LeBron might come to me, play with me.
And he wanted to.
And he wanted to. He's been public about it. So my point is that if you're Steph, it just helps. And lastly, I just think he is one of those guys, Rob G, he knows I've worked for it. I've put in a sweat equity, but also I've just been blessed, man. And I was not a guy. LeBron came in with expectations, right? Kobe Bryant, maybe not the lofty they end up becoming because he ended up going one all-time greats, but we had expectations. Well, let's see what this high school guy is going to do. Shaq came in with expectations. We saw what he was doing in college, right? And so on and so forth. Steph, we're like, oh, man, he can play. You know, let's see what he got. And for him to walk out, 4-time champ, 6 NBA finals he's been to, finals MVP, 2-time MVP, all-time records. Like, dude, I think he's okay.
Yeah.
I think his career worked out.
Yeah.
I think he made it.
And you could argue that he is in the inner circle of conversation where you say, hey, one guy being beloved by one franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I think Kobe is the guy.
Kobe, Magic,
but he's up there.
You know what I mean? But he is one of those guys where it's like you'll never find a single Warriors fan that has anything negative to say about Steph Curry.
I would argue because Kobe's last third was so the second half of his career with the Lakers was so great.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously his passing, which was terrible and horrible still to this day. Of course, us living out here in LA it was wild. I say that to say, you being a Laker fan and a realist, remember, not all Laker fans were happy with him.
No,
this is the part, the revisionist history makes it like, oh no, his entire 20 years, it was all beloved and peachy. And no. There was a moment where folks were like, why we get rid of Shaq instead of him?
Mm-hmm.
He's a ball hog. We can't win with him, right? And people don't want to admit that. And I only say that to say, I don't know if there was ever really that ride with Steph.
I don't think there was.
You know what I mean? I'm sure some Bay Area, maybe he cost us the finals. He wasn't, but I don't think he ever had that real dip.
No.
Like some other guys.
And he's not one of those guys that's become so in vogue nowadays where he's going to flex his muscle with the front office, with the coaches.
KD ain't coming here. I ain't going to let that.
He's going to let his Twitter finger say something. He's going to jump on a pot. And no, Steph is kind of apart from a lot of that stuff. He seems to be a great family man. Like you mentioned, he's great in the community. He's a good businessman. Like everything about him seems like, he's just a really good dude, really solid guy, and he's a great basketball player.
When we look at just like greatest resumes or like careers, a lot of people say MJ might be the best ever, but LeBron had the best career.
Right.
Steph is going to be one of those top 3, 4, 5 careers ever. Just like, you know what I mean? Like all that he accomplished, literally, like the accolades, also what he accomplished off the field. No real off the court, no real run-ins, no bad drama, 5 years of badness. Like Steph is gonna have one of the greatest careers in last 20 years in really American sports.
And that's why it would be a shame if he ends it somewhere else.
Big facts. 877-99 on Fox. Let's take a couple calls on that. Any way you want to hop in there. We just talked about just his career as a whole. If it ends in a couple of years, where he will be regarded. Would you like to see him try to go get another ring somewhere else and add to his his belt, his champion, his accolades and resume? Or do you want him to just stay in the Bay and say, be loyal to the soil? It makes sense for him to retire there. 877-99 on Fox. We'll take your calls on that. It's the Odd Couple on the TV theme song Thursday. Kelvin Washington, Rob G. Stick with us, Fox Sports Radio. I'm going to go ahead and get to something I thought was interesting. Sent it to you earlier, Ephraim. I was like, we got to definitely talk about this. Both of us love hoop and basketball.
Yes, we do.
And I could argue it's a conversation that could be applicable to any sport. And that is the conversation between what means more, MVPs, the MVPizzles, or the trophies. Here's what the Cousins podcast with Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady, T-Mac, had to say.
Regular season MVP. Finals MVP.
Regular season. All day.
Over finals MVP.
Bro, you could be, the finals can go 4 games. You could have the best 4 games of your freaking career, your life. You could luck up and have a great 4 to 5 games depending on how this team is defending your star players. If your best player is receiving so much attention that
where he has to defer.
Absolutely.
And you take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with that.
That's why I said I don't want to. You can luck up and get MVP.
Okay, that's fair.
Best player doesn't always win it.
That's true.
But regular season, he ain't gonna win that. Your role player ain't about to win an MVP of the regular season.
Yeah.
Vince Carter goes on to say, just for some balance, Vince sounded like he was more on the give me a ring side of things. Vince was saying, man, but that ring, it means something, that championship, And the final thought, T-Mac said, basically, Anybody. He said, name me the 11th, 12th player on those Celtics teams, on those Detroit bad boy teams, on those Laker teams. And his point was, there are guys walking around, technically, they do. They've got a championship ring. We don't know them. They're just on the bench clapping it up. And he was trying to say, hey, those guys have a ring. But not everybody is a regular season MVP. That's only a select group. So hearing that, I come out like this. Charles Barkley was a...
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Hey, Ernie, that's terrible. I think he's fantastic. He has an MVP. He was the best player. I mean, obviously, we know Jordan was the best player. But in 93, and with the Suns, and they gave it to him. I say that to say, I have a feeling he would rather still have an NBA trophy. Because he was still an all-star. He was still an incredible player. He's still an all-fan player. But that's the one blemish. And had he had a ring and been 8, 9, 10-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, Olympic gold medalist, but didn't have an MVP, he would still be Charles Barkley without that MVP. And I think he would trade it in. Because one thing I'll say with the MVP is, for instance, we've kind of belittled the MVP in that the fact that Jordan only has 5. Kobe Bryant only has 1. God bless the dead. LeBron James only has 4. When we universally say, for the most part, he was the best player for like 10, 12, 15 years, depending on the years. So my point is, MVPs, they don't always get it right. Jordan only has 5. We know he should probably have like 8. And Kobe only has 1. Shaq only has 1. Can you believe it? It's kind of absurd. I say that to say, as great as an MVP is, we have guys who are still prolific. Some people believe Kobe Bryant is the best basketball player to ever live. He only has 1 MVP. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But a ring is the thing, and I'm not a ring culture guy where that's all that determining factor. So-and-so's better because he has more rings. I'm no way near that guy. Probably the fault, actually. But I will say, ultimately, that having that championship, I feel like it's something that once you receive it, cannot be taken away. It was earned. It was a team commitment. What do I hear from all you guys who played in leagues? You say, number one thing I miss is the camaraderie, being in the foxhole with my brothers, what we did, and having that ride, that journey where we accomplished something, we won a championship, maybe multiple. You have that forever, that bond, that brotherhood. I think it weighs more to me than an MVP. Now, I totally get some people's sentiment on it. That meant you were flat out the best player of your respective league. But give me the ring. That's eternal, that lasts, and that's something that even an MVP guy doesn't necessarily have. As we know, some MVPs, Steve Nash, 2 of them, he ain't got one. So I'm going to side more on that. I don't think it's a blowout, but I'm going to side more on give me that. And, as the resident champion on this particular show right now, stay focused. Stay focused. Don't make that face.
Okay.
Don't disrespect my high school state championship. Okay.
Well,
don't disrespect it.
Was it 5A?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't act like it's batteries. Don't act like it's batteries out here. Double, triple, quadruple A batteries. Okay.
9 volt. Was it 9?
We beat Jason Richardson, Saginaw Arthur Hills, Ann Arbor Pioneer with the state championship. Don't worry about what I was doing out there in the streets. You gotta learn how to play that little. There you go. It's the Odd Couple, Kelvin, Washington, Rob G in for Rob Parker on a TV Things on Thursday. Thank you to USC Chris getting us all these great TV theme songs. What are they on, like year 48? My goodness, this show. All going.
There's so many of them.
Yeah,
You got
won't stop.
Law and Order. You got SVU. You had Criminal Intent. What was it? Jeff Goldblum, Vincent D'Onofrio.
There's so many. And then not to mention just all the – I remember the one couple of seasons, I think, with Anthony Anderson and the one dude. I forgot his name.
This
was in Clueless.
SVU was like the show I would watch
boyfriend in
nonstop.
Clueless.
Paul Rudd?
Not Paul Rudd. That was – by the way, are we going to talk about that or not?
It's his stepbrother.
That she ended up falling in love with her stepbrother. Why are we okay with that? That's going on my Instagram in a minute.
Okay.
I need answers for that.
All right.
Years later. It is the Odd Couple. All right. By the way, Foul or Fair Foul with J.R. Gamble on the way in a minute. Stream us live wherever you happen to be in the iHeart app. Just catch us in all your favorite Fox Sports radio shows live 24/7. And the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app. Stream us live all day, every day. And be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app. Wall's going to pop up at the top, so it's easy to find. All right, let's take a couple calls. Just basically Steph Curry. Should he take the extension with the Warriors? None of us really have expectations for them to win anything. Should he move on? Is he owed that right? He's been dedicated to them for so long. Is he owed the right to move on? What do you think? 877-99 on Fox. What we got?
Let's keep moving. Rob in Memphis. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Rob?
Hey, what going on, man?
What up, man?
Hey, I normally say a whole lot of Robs in the building, but one of us missing, so it's a couple of Robs in the building.
Yes, that's why I'm not tripping today. It's just a couple of y'all. I can deal with that.
You can handle us today. Ain't no onslaught. Hey, but look here. So y'all made a great case for Steph staying, and I think it'd be best for his legacy if he stayed. But I'd be completely fine with him leaving because, hey, look, man, they need to understand if Steph said to them, hey, look, y'all, I ain't got nothing but a couple of years left, and I'm not out here just to be a show pony, just to sell tickets, knowing we're not going to win. I want to go somewhere where I have a chance to win. And the thing that makes me most not have a problem with it is he wouldn't just be riding a coattail somewhere. You know, he would actually be one of the reasons that a team succeeds if he went somewhere to win.
That's
it ain't
true.
like Tracy McGrady going to the Spurs or Karl Malone going to the Lakers where, you know, they're going to bench their way to a ring. If Steph would have went to, you know, Miami or anything like that, he would be the reason that they went over the top, not because he just, you know, was hanging in there. Because I actually don't like the term ring chasing because what the hell else are you playing for?
Yeah.
If it ain't for the ring. I mean, other than just the money, but obviously he's beyond the money part. Anyway, that's all I had to say, man. Love y'all from Memphis. Holla.
All right, I got to get down to Memphis, man.
I've never been to Memphis.
No, I haven't. It's one of the, you know, cities I haven't been to. I get down to Memphis. I know he's going to tell me where the best barbecue is, too.
Oh, yeah.
Know that for sure. All right, let's take one more. Who we got?
Oh, we got an oldie but a goodie. Your favorite caller, Andre in Massachusetts.
It ain't the show if Andre
you're
don't
on the
call.
Fox Sports Radio. What's up, man?
What's going on? Thanks for taking the call. Speaking of oldies but goodies, right? If it's not broke, we don't need to fix it. Shout out to Dick Wolf, by the way. I like that Law and Order, that melody that you had coming in here. You know what I'm saying? Proves if you create something distinctive, that man's still collecting royalties. His great-great-great-grandchildren are going to be collecting royalties off of what he had built and established, right? And so Steph understands this. He's an original. I'm not going to jump ship now to go chase the championship over here, championship over there, where the Golden State Warriors, that's the foundation which I was built up on. Because let's remember, when Jerry West brought him in, what did Monta Ellis say? He said, I don't think we can play together. This kid, he catapult shot. They didn't, but there was questions about him early on. But they said, no, Jerry West specifically, who Joe Lacob brought in to build the dynasty, no, this is who we're going to build around. Bring in Clay, bring in Draymond, bring in, had David Lee, and the rest is history. So I don't think he's going to jump ship from that loyalty at the end of his career when the team's not competitive for a championship. Thanks for taking the call.
No doubt.
Thanks,
Dre, appreciate you as always, man. All right. There you have it. Yeah, we're in the same agreement. He's just going to ride it out. I just didn't think he's.
So.
When Steve Kerr, and I probably should have said this earlier, when Steve Kerr decided to come back, and a lot of us thought that would be the end. Remember, he was acting all weird in the season. He was hugging him up. It was thought this would be this last hurrah, and we kind of thought this might be it for Steve. When he came back, Draymond's re-signed. I think the three of them kind of got in the huddle and like, this is it. Good, bad.
Draymond only got one more year.
But say this run, whether it be, I'm not saying it, like Steph might, who knows, as great shape he is, he might sign another year even after the 2. My point is, like, but this is it. Like, I don't want to go anywhere else. We try to get LeBron here, make our last push in that regard. I think they're just saying, I'm going to ride it out together. I think that the 3 of them have locked in. Clay on the outside looking in and not necessarily happy about that. All right, on the other side of Update with Martin Weiss, we're going to have J.R. Gamble with Foul or Fair. Here's Martin now.
Bottom of the 8th inning, the Astros lead the Yankees 5-1. Top of the 8th, it's the Royals 11-2 over the Blue Jays. Brewers with a 6-2 lead over the Mets at the top of the 8th, and in the top of the 9th inning, Chris Sale's been dealing. He's it's scoreless right now, 1-0. 8 2/3 innings pitched. They're looking at this last one to see if he closes out the end of top of the 9th inning to go to the bottom, or to close out the game, I should say. And preseason football, the Patriots and the Browns, 7 seconds left in the first half. Dylan Gabriel with a 12 for 15 passing night, 3 touchdowns so far in the first half. He got the start. No Shedeur Sanders nor Deshaun Watson in the game for Cleveland. Tommy DeVito got to start. Baron Morton now in the game at quarterback for New England. Elsewhere in preseason football, the Steelers and the Bills, 27-17. Pittsburgh in the lead. Will Howard got to start. He had 2 touchdowns and an interception in the first half. Drew Aller played some of the second quarter. He's in now, 6 for 10 passing for him. No touchdowns or interceptions. Frank Gore Jr. with the rushing touchdown for Buffalo in this game. Fernando Mendoza didn't get the start for the Raiders. Kirk Cousins did. He was 8 for 11 in their third preseason game. Mendoza did come in on his 3rd pass attempt of the game through an interception. He's 5 for 9 for 38 yards passing. Mac Jones got the start, only 1 for 5. He also had a rushing yard, or two rushing yards. Adrian Martinez in now. He's 3 for 5 passing that game at the half. And it looks like the Dodgers were safe here. Chris Sale now 8 2/3 innings pitched. My bad, still being challenged. We'll see if this game continues or if the Braves win it. You'll have it in a minute. Back to you.
Ooh, bars. I ended that like that.
That was good.
In a minute. All right. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate it. Have a great night as well. It's the Odd Couple, Kelvin and Rob G in for Rob Parker on a TV thing. So on Thursday, if it's a Thursday, you know how we do it. We do File or Fair with J.R. Gamble.
That ball is. It was a big week in the big leagues.
Who's up? I don't believe it! My, oh my!
Is it foul or is it fair? And now, from MLBBro.com, here's J.R. Gamble.
I guess Rob G doesn't want to do his normal job today, so I will. JR, what's up, bro? What up? It's Foul or Fair.
On, fellas?
It's Foul.
What up?
Foul or Fair with JR Gamble. I'll read a story and tell him it's Foul or Fair. Right? Is that good enough for you, Rob?
Pretty straightht's
All right.
You didn't sell me on it, Martin. You didn't really sell me on it.
Well, you know what? This is not my normal job. I'm not normally in the host chair. Tariq Schoolbull.
You can do it all.
Thank you, JR.
You can do it all.
Tariq Schoolbull's era has gotten off to a rocky start in L.A. 1 2 3 starts. His ERA and WHIP with the Dodgers would be his worst in 4 years. Guys, I know it's early, but Fowler failed to say the impact of Schoolbull was overblown.
JR.
Foul.
That is a foul ball.
I mean, Tariq Schoolbull, he was brought to L.A. for the playoffs, if I'm not confused. So the Dodgers already were running away with the division. They're going for a 3rd straight World Series. They don't play the same game, really, that these English franchises play. So overblown, I don't think so. How can you have a perennial Cy Young candidate and their rival be overblown? I could care less what Schoolbull does really right now because it's all about September and October. And then if he stays with the Dodgers, later down the line, we can decide then if, it was overblown or worth it. But for now, all he needs to do is beat Tariq Schoolbull come World Series time. He'll be fine.
I think it's foul as well.
Deserve.
That is a foul ball.
Reason why you just mentioned it, so I don't even have to rehash it. The point of the matter is we won't remember any of this if they walk out with a World Series championship and he has 1 or 2 games where he was Tariq Schoolbull. And we'll all go, all is right, and that's what we expected.
I think it's fair.
It's a fair ball.
And that's because Bo Benson, host of a very popular Dodgers podcast, tweeted out after his last start, Tarek Skubal, please return to Detroit. Because we were told that when he got to Los Angeles, it was unfair. That this is going to be reason that we're going to have a lockout. That we're going to lose games next season because Tarek Skubal with the Dodgers is just makes the rest of the league the JV. And that has not been the case at all. The Dodgers still scuffling. They lost again right now to the Braves. And Tarek Skubal has been okay. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been like the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, yes, considering all of the hullabaloo surrounding the trade, I think it's been overblown.
He goes 3-0 in the postseason. And, it was, amazing ERA. And
He don't have to be. Do you remember what they were saying when the trade was made? Like,
I do.
Quit the season now.
Game
it's over.
You know good and well that's all we care about. The Warriors
He ain't
are
putting up Chris
73 and
Sale
9.
numbers, complete game, 11 strikeouts, 0 earned runs.
Say Dodgers
Bump
just,
Chris Sale.
Whoa. Dodgers just, you say Terry Skubal, they need hitting. They just got shut out. Rob Parker's favorite player, Aaron Judge, eyeing a return to play in September, and he's planning to do so without a minor league rehab assignment beforehand. Guys, foul or fair to say Judge would be making a mistake by jumping straight to the big leagues?
Fair.
It's a fair ball.
But it won't matter. If he's healthy, he doesn't need any minor league rehab. It's way too late in the season for that, in my opinion. The Yankees have a chance to win the division and trust. They don't want to be playing any wild card series or playing more games away from home than at home. They've been through that in the past. If it's up to them, bring Judge back, right, and just go for it because, there's no warm-ups right now. The only reason why he would be doing a rehab stint would be to see if he's still hurt. That's why I said fair. But if he's healthy, then we aren't worried about him getting any rehab. Get that man back in the lineup. Let's go out there and win the division because time is running out.
Foul!
That is a foul.
And it
ball.
sounds like you were fouled, really, JR, because everything you said.
I was.
Exactly. Because everything you're saying is the reason why. Listen, I ain't got time. Number one, Aaron Judge is not old, but he's older than most people think. And they're in a position where they're trying to win, right? You got to try to win just to get in the actual postseason, then let alone try to win a World Series. So we can't have him doing, I don't even know where they would go, Oklahoma or wherever he would go, wasting time there. Dang it, get up in here. One of the best professional hitters of all time. Just come be you. And they've been sustaining with the pitching. We got a shot, so they don't have any time to waste.
It's fair.
It's a fair ball.
Because of what Kelvin said. He's old. You don't like stretching? When you work out, you don't warm up the hammies before you go on the run?
I ain't competing for a World Series.
Aaron, let him get like a week. Let him get 3 days, a day. Because you don't go from off the couch to major league hitting and expect to be Aaron Judge. If they're going to make any noise in the postseason, Aaron Judge has to be Aaron Judge. He can't just be Kyle Tucker out here, putting up tour dates. Can't do that.
Yeah, one week of rehab won't necessarily bring him that, but I feel what you're saying.
Thank you, JR. You're the best.
CBS Sports published a piece Thursday explaining why there should be a rule saying teams with losing records should not be playoff eligible. That's notable because it's looking increasingly like the sad sack winner of the AL West will be sub 500. Fellas, foul or fair? They say teams with losing records should not be eligible for the postseason. JR.
All right, let's get this one right. Foul!
That is a foul ball.
Because honestly, I think it is what it is, right? We've had the same scenario play out in other sports like the NFL. First place is first place. We can't change the goalposts. You have to finish with a better record than everyone else in your division, which means you played better than everyone else in your division. And this question is really like a troublemaker question, Rob, because we know that a record is somewhat cosmetic, right? The fact that they outplayed everyone in their division, like I said, is the reward. And if they get knocked out in the first round, then we know it played out as it should anyway. But we cannot penalize teams for being the best or worst in their division. That's how it goes. And every season is different, too. So you don't impulsively change rules or get excited because of one season.
Foul! And I have to say it's because y'all correct me, because y'all Mr. Baseball's guys. Pennants are a big deal, right? And winning, and we know in all sports, specifically NFL and MLB, divisions matter. So unless you're getting rid of divisions, then ultimately to me, what's the point? Like, if divisions matter and all that, then dang it, I won my division. Now you mentioned you got some Carolina Panthers situations up in there going 7 and 9 and all that stuff, and it happens from time to time. But hey, I won my division, and if that's the right of entry, then dang it, I did it. I got it done.
It's sweet. It's foul.
That is a foul ball.
Because it doesn't happen that often. It doesn't happen that often
Yeah.
for us to be like, hey, we got to put a new rule in because of X, Y, and Z. Like, look, this happens once every, 7, 8, 9 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure this time next season, whoever wins that division is going to be 6 games over 500. It'll be fine.
Mhm.
So let's
Mhm.
not make a mountain out of a molehill. Whoever gets in is going to get smacked in the wild card round or playing game, whatever it is. And then it'll be the end of it. And we're going to make a big deal out of it.
There you have it.
Houston's not happy. Got rid of that GM first place. It's like, this is not enough. First
That's
place
right.
is not good enough.
Well, they've won a bunch, and they're trying to continue to winning. That's what winners do. JR, you know that.
And JR's a winner.
That's right. Playboy, thank you. Appreciate it, man. We'll do it again
Great
next week.
segment, fellas.
Thanks,
Best
bro.
segment of the year, fellas.
As
Right here.
always. Dang, it's the best segment of the year.
That's
Rob
right.
Parker ain't here. What are you trying to say? Ain't that his uncle? What you trying to say? I heard that. No way, no how. Or would JR be dead to him? Everybody be dead to him.
Oh, yeah. No, everyone's been dead to him at
He's
least
dead
once.
to me.
He's dead to me.
I need a cold shower.
I do think I think I might be on the dead to him list. Or like right on
You've
life
been
support.
on it before and then erased.
Yeah, I think I've been on life support. Maybe I didn't fully die.
No, you
on
were
a
dead.
respirator. I was
for a
dead to him.
minute, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it, Billy Madison? When the guy's making the list of people you got to kill and he crosses one guy
He
out.
crossed me out,
Yeah.
but then erased it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Been on there.
I can see that.
I think everybody in this room has been on there at least once.
Yeah.
Even Chris is like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I think I definitely stole some wings from him one time.
Yeah.
Oh,
see?
hold on, man. Okay. I don't have the laugh that deserves in me right now, Chris. That was beyond hilarious.
I've been on it so many times. It's like different shades of color.
Yeah.
Like there was a black pen, there was a blue pen, there was a red pen, and
I think I'm barely hanging on.
It's like the terror watch list. Is
Like
the
I
Rob
think
Parker
it was
watch
like
list.
I think like Kelvin is crossed out. Maybe Washington is still like
Right,
alive,
I can
like
see
still-
that.
Like Kelvin, I'm hanging on by a thread. All right, last call. Your chance to get in with the Odd Couple. 877-99 on Fox. 877-99 on Fox. Been a great show, Rob G. We got one more time for you to hop in. Hit us up, Fox Sports Radio.
Well, you know who doesn't have a job anymore? But this one's by choice, all right? He didn't get fired. He didn't get fired on his day off. UCLA legend Russell Westbrook has officially announced his retirement from the NBA. Clap it up one time for Russ, for the Brody. And when I saw the news come across the ticker, of course, got lost a lot of the Laker news, of course. My first thought when I read it was, it's a shame what's happened to Russell Westbrook and the discourse surrounding Russell Westbrook. Because I am a Laker fan, you're a Laker fan. We lived through the Russell Westbrook experience.
Yes, we did.
It was not fun.
It was not good.
It was very difficult. It really
Very
tested
uncomfortable.
It tested your patience in a lot of ways. That I totally agree with you. However, I maintain that the reason why Russell Westbrook, especially in the last 4 or 5 years or so, has become a punchline to a lot of people, especially on NBA Twitter, is because specifically he played with LeBron James. And it's not LeBron's fault specifically. It's not anything that he did or didn't do publicly or maybe even privately that I know about. It is that LeBron James has a sea of sycophants, both on television, radio, podcast, print media, what have you, that are very quick to give him the credit when things go great and even quicker to blame somebody else when they don't.
Okay.
And because Russell Westbrook and his style of play is very loud, when he makes a bad play or he misses a shot, it is also very loud. He does not just miss a shot softly off the front of the rim. He will hit the side of the backboard, right? He will not just turn the ball over in the flow of the action. He will turn it over with about 45 seconds left in a 2-point game, right? Because he plays the first 47 minutes just as hard as he plays the last minute. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes it is absolutely horrible. But because he played with LeBron James and because he played with the Lakers, and because that tenure ended so spectacularly, the last few years of Russell Westbrook's NBA career has been people taking pot shots at him, people poking fun at him, anonymous scouts, GMs, and coaches calling the Miami Heat and saying, if you want to win, you do not bring this guy to your franchise. And because of that, people have completely forgotten that Russell Westbrook, right now, amongst all-time NBA point guards, is first in points, first in rebounds, first in triple-doubles, fourth in assists. He and LeBron James, the only two players, the only two in the history of the NBA to have 25,000 points and 10,000 assists. People forget, again, because of the way things spiraled out of control here in LA, that from 2016 to 2021, he averaged 26, 10, and 10 and made the triple-double a normal occurrence on a Tuesday night. His net rating was plus 6.7. So for all the crap people gave him about running around like a chicken with his head cut off, his teams were demonstrably better when he was on the court doing his thing than when he wasn't. He only played 65 games with the Washington Wizards, and yet he has shattered their franchise record for triple-doubles. He had 38 of them in 65 games.
Wow.
So while he may not be LeBron James, he may not be Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Russell Westbrook is a damn good NBA player, or was a damn good NBA player. He is arguably between the third and the sixth greatest point guard who ever lived. He is a first ballot, no doubt about it, rock solid Hall of Famer. But again, playing in Los Angeles, playing with LeBron James, didn't go very well. He became a punchline. And I think that is wildly disrespectful, and it's unfortunate that a player of his caliber is going to ride off into the sunset with his tail tucked between his legs.
One of the greatest theme songs, which is kind of just sounds and weird, creepy noises. But I love it.
You recognize it immediately.
Oh, that's a great point. We might have to put some respect on his name. It might be a top tenner.
Ooh.
Because we always like to think of the ones with songs and cheers and words. Right. And in West Philadelphia, everyone knows it. No one dislikes it.
Nope.
It's good. By the way, I'm watching this in my face. Yeah,
just those first strings right there. Those first notes right there. You immediately know what you're watching.
Love it. X-Files. Odd Couple, Kelvin and Rob G. One more time for us before we call it a show on a TV theme song Thursday. Speaking of TV, real quick before we get into this last call. I'm watching Big Three. A, are you into Big Three? B, how dope is Martin with thumbs down. B, how dope it is. I was watching O'Shea Jackson interview his own dad.
A, no, I'm not into Big Three. And B, I'm glad that he's doing that because I'm fine with nepotism, unlike Rob Parker.
Yeah, well, Rob Parker is okay with nepotism. We already talked about 3/4 of this place was nothing but nepotism. They're not blood. I don't give a dang. Look, Chris with the thumbs up.
Nepotism has really helped me out.
I mean, look, we're looking at you. Hey, Martin and Chris and who else? Everybody else. And I don't mind it because this is why I get mad at Rob. That's real life.
Yes.
If it comes down to something and somebody goes, well, dang, so-and-so are equal or da-da-da, and I just, who do you want to pick? You're like, oh, my man, I work with him.
Yep.
That's my best friend's son. He was in my class. That's called life. So Rob getting all mad that a person has a chance to bring their son up. What? Are y'all crazy? You know how many owners, their sons have jobs? Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones. You know, we can go on down the line. Y'all lost your minds. You think Kennedy, Cameron, and Karras won't have a chance in whatever I'm doing because, well, I don't want to do the favor. You bet. Come on.
Now, are you going to steer them to something that you're doing so that you can give them a leg up?
Oh, I absolutely don't want to do any of this. Oh, I would prefer them to do nothing of this.
So they're like, oh, I really want to be a veterinarian. No, what you need to do is you need to be in media.
Cameron worries me with that.
Lob with that.
Cameron has.
I could Stockton Maloney right now.
Yeah,
if you
Cameron worries me with that because she got a little. I always tease her and say I would subscribe. I would subscribe to your channel because she is hilarious. But no, I don't want him in this. Listen, I'm doing all this and the other stuff you don't. You know, the other stuff I do that I'm on the low doing.
Right.
Trying to build the empire. So then go do. You can just be an amazing pharmacist at some. You know,
a Vito spot.
And just being great, and you love it. It's what you do. You're passionate about it, and it's so I don't need you to be having to do all that.
Okay.
My wife talked me off the ledge once about that. It was a really good conversation.
Are you watching the Big Three?
Well, you know I love hoop, so now that's in my face, I'm watching hoop, but I'm not like over. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not going out my way. I've been to a game or two when they come out here to LA. I did this story on Frank Nitti.
Good.
Shout out to Frank. Martin, why you hating on the Big Three?
I'm not hating on the Big Three, but it's a big difference between I'm checking for the Big Three and I had to go to the Big Three for work to do a story.
I would still go to the Big Three. I'm serious, but I fully admit, you've heard me say it a million times, I'm a hoop fan.
Yes.
Like hoop first. So when I was in high school, we watched the girls play. You just think if our game was later or if our,
did I in high school. I'm a football fan. I'm not watching the UFL or AAFL or you name it.
Football. The only counter I'll have with that is basketball. You might be going to Venice Beach with your lady, and your wife, and y'all walk in, and you see them. You know, you hoop there.
Mm-hmm.
You might stop and watch them hoop. Like basketball is much more of an easier watch. Football is so organized what it takes. You don't grow up used to just seeing it. Hoop is different, so you can watch people who you'll be at the pickup watching the next game before you get on. It's a different thing. So I'm a hoop guy like that. I fully admit that, and I know I'm a little crazy. You're almost like that.
Yeah, but don't you think like when the Big Three was first sold to us, it was like, hey, come see your stars of yesteryear, like come out and ball out one last night. And now it's like a dude who's like in the G League and Pat Bev who couldn't get on with an NBA team. So it's like they haven't been gone long enough for me to feel nostalgic about watching Michael Beasley, get buckets.
Yeah, they're just trying to pacify some time, man.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, last call. Let's give it to the person, whoever it is. Who is it?
Eric in Austin, Texas. You don't need no imaging. Eric, you are the last call.
Let's go. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, let's get to him. Really goes.
What's up, Eric?
What's up, Eric?
All right. What's up, Rob? What's up, Kevin? How you guys doing,
What up, man? Good. Long time no hear, man.
All right, so look, I got to push back on your thoughts on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Number one, I don't like the comparison between Kuminga and Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder, that was his last chance to get the bag. Jonathan Kuminga, this is the first time betting on himself, and he's betting on himself coming off a career year or half a season with Atlanta. And I think Minnesota was the best move for him, okay? And honestly, I disagree with you saying Minnesota took a few steps back. Also, I'll say this too. I will take your points about LaMelo Ball. I will. But don't tell me that Minnesota hasn't been lacking a facilitator and a true point guard and floor general for the past, 3 or 4 seasons.
I don't disagree.
Hey, both statements can be true.
Absolutely. I think that they have, but they got a guy who shot his own team out of there in the postseason.
Yes,
or the play-in. And we saw that. LaMelo has all the talent. That's never the issue. Can he stay healthy? That's what we're wondering. All right, man. Good stuff, Rob G. We'll do it again tomorrow on a Friday.
Back at it.
Right. Fox Sports Radio.
Can be